over here. Add to stream.
Good morning.
I don't know about good, but morning.
Like it's obviously a lot going on this morning.
Exactly.
I was like, are we doing it?
All right, let's see.
Good morning, Diva. Good morning, Royalty. Good morning, Rachel. And Diva, yes, I agree with you. That was my first thought when I saw the title topic too. It's like, Jesus, 2 weeks in a row. It's a little heavy. We'll get through it together, Diva.
Yeah. Good morning, Diva. Good morning, Royalty. Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, Val.
Good morning, D. Star.
All right, let's see. All right. Okay. I need to come up with a intro.
Mhm.
Yeah. Filling these gaps. Let's see.
A theme song or a little like Chi Chi or Madison does the whole little
Right.
recorded intro thing.
Right.
Buy some time.
All right. Okay. Y'all, it's been so I was debating that I want to go live or not. That's what I was on the fence.
What was it because of why?
Well, I pushed through because I'm actually gonna take 2 weeks off.
Oh, take 2 week break from the lives.
Yes. So I
You
come
sure you don't
back.
want to go till you sure you don't want to take a break till March?
No, that's too late. So
What
yeah.
what made you come to this decision?
What? To take 2 weeks off?
Hmm.
Because it's a bit much right
What?
now. Yeah.
What? Why would you say that? What, working 7 days a week and then
Right.
adding a couple hours of a live that you have to run and come up with the content and
Right.
deal with technical issues
Right.
and
All day.
have have on air energy. What? That's a lot.
um,
Just
Diva
when I
One.
thought you were superhuman.
Diva One, you are a lifesaver. I'm telling you, this has really helped me out.
What is it
Thank
called?
you
Matrix?
again. Yeah, it's a matrix.
This is like what, an energy supplement or something?
It's a meal supplement.
Oh, meal supplement.
Hmm.
What is it like? You make a smoothie or shake out of it?
Yeah, it's vegan too.
How many calories?
Let's see now, you finna let me get into all that.
Well, because I need something like that at this point. I'm really trying to get very serious about my weight loss.
I don't even see the calories on here.
Diva, if you know the calories per packet, could you put it in the comments? Um, but yeah, I wanna slim down my hips.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't mind having junk in my trunk. I just don't want to have like look like an old lady with junk in the trunk.
Right. Oh my gosh.
I'm actually still recovering from last week. Well, this week I have been recovering from the the trip,
Wow.
traveling, and I kind of had a little bit of jet lag, even though it's just an hour difference. But
Mm, gotcha.
it's just like a different kind of week for me.
That's what I was debating too. I was like, well, should I give Val rest today? I said, nah, I'll wait till next week.
Oh, I mean, 2 weeks off. Don't go away too long. You know me, I'll get pulled in a different direction.
Right.
You know
Nah.
how I roll. I can stay busy.
That's why I said a good 2 week span is good enough, so I can recharge. Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if you need longer, you should take it.
Yeah.
Get through this season.
Yeah.
Oh, 140 calories. That's not bad.
That's good.
I'm gonna have to what, I go to Jiva's website. Is there a link in the description below or something? How do I get my hands on it, Diva? Or how do I get to you to get my hands on it?
You follow Diva on IG?
I don't know. That's where you did it from?
Mm-hmm. Just message Diva one.
Oh, message her. Okay, I thought maybe it was a
Mm-hmm.
link on her channel or something. Oh, I'm so used to going to her YouTube channel. I'm about to do that versus going to Instagram.
Yes, Diva. I got so many requests from guests that was returning to the hotel, and they was like, "Well, when you gonna put color back in your hair? When you gonna put color back in?" I said soon. So yeah,
Didn't you have coloring last week?
yeah. But I kept a hat on.
Well, I saw you when you were at work. You
Yeah,
that
yeah,
night.
yeah. Hey, go
Diva,
go.
Diva, put your Instagram in the comments because I'm not sure if I when I'm typing in Diva, I don't see you popping up. So I don't know what you're. Oh,
All right.
she is.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't follow her. Okay, I found
All
you,
right.
Diva.
She put a email in the chat too, so you can email Diva
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna want that.
All right. Well, real quick, guys, I had to pick up this topic. I do have a confession to Bridget and Vale. Um, I do have to first apologize to you both. Private situation publicly. Um, my birthday weekend was really hard. What y'all saw was the facade. Saturday, I know a lot of y'all caught us in the live, and we were going out. Prior to meeting up with Vale and Go-Go, I actually took 4 sleeping pills. I was going to take 6 sleeping pills. Um, I go through these phases as we get closer to the holidays. I deal with depression, and of course, depression can lead to suicidal thoughts. Um, Even on Sunday, I had got a period of that, and at one point, I just wanted to drive off the road and just get it all over with. Um, I still deal with a lot of pain of losing the women of my family, my grandmother, my big mama, my mother, and then of course this year I lost my auntie, one of my closest auntie. It's taking a toll on me mentally. Um, in the past, coming up, and as I shared before in other stories, dealing with rape situations that happened to my mom, and me and my twin brother being pulled away from my mom, and we had to go to Detroit. So a lot of this through this time frame, it just keeps playing back. You would think it would get lighter or easier. Um, at one point, I engulfed myself so far into the church. That was my outlet. But of course, through one of my divorces, of course, that's when I dealt with a lot of church hurt. You look for these people who you faithfully did service with, and these people you prayed with. And then when you're at your lowest point in your life, when you need them, everybody turn their backs on you. So going through all this, and I mentioned this before too, when Maddie was talking about when Miss Eve passed away in December. I dealt with this that same year, a month prior to that. I dealt with, of course, my roommate on Thanksgiving, who ended up shooting himself and committing suicide. And he was dealing with a lot of depression because he was the only child, and he was, of course, a mama's boy. So he had lost his mom, and he's never recovered from that pain and that hurt. I can relate because I lost my mom as well. So those are stories that we share. And the time that hurricane season hit, I think this was in 2000, was it 16 or 17? That's when we were able to bond and talk about that. So I just really been going through. That's why I don't really celebrate birthdays. I don't celebrate holidays. I don't get into all that. Um, because for me, I and again with my sign as being a Scorpio, we are mystery, so we like dark spaces. I stay in the dark a lot, so I stay in my mind a lot, and I try to get out of that space. So people say normally with time it gets easier, but for me it's just getting harder. I continue to fight through this. That is definitely a demon I wrestle with. Um, Depression and suicide. Um, I'm a strong individual. Um, I have a lot of people I have to continue to fight for. Um, I have a lot of nephews and nieces who depend on me because I am that favorite uncle. So I have to keep fighting through. Then I have friends who consoling me to give them advice as well. But it's funny because we always say we're able to give everybody else advice, but then when we turn around and we need advice, we can't find it.
Mhm.
So dealing with a lot of that. That's just why I picked this topic, because a lot of people have lost family members through the holiday, and the holiday time frame is drawing near, of course. So that's that's a little brief point of again what I've been dealing with for the past week or so. All right, let's see real quick.
Well, I will say thank you for acknowledging um, what occurred. But life is life, and we all go through. But I do appreciate, even with all you're dealing with, that you acknowledge um, what occurred between, yeah, what happened. But what are you like in therapy or anything for? Like, who are you? Like you said, you have people who are looking for you to be there for them and advice, et cetera, et cetera. So, who is the giver going to receive?
Well, now it's just me fighting through this. In the past, I leaned on to pastors, um, but where I'm at right now, just from being hurt a lot, I just steered away from that, and this is just something. It's just something I pray about, and it's just me and God, and we try to push through it.
Because I am, and I know it's not necessarily popular, especially in our culture, but I am a huge proponent of professional therapy. I get
Hmm.
spiritual, and I'm not against it at all, and I think there's a place for that, and that's fine. However, they are not certified, they are not educated in human psychology, and
Hmm.
so I don't look at that as, I think it works for some things and at whatever level. But I too, struggle with seasonal depression, which I like share, seasonal affective disorder. And honestly, I'm in that season. And so I'm not 100% myself in this season. But if you don't know me, you really just don't know. But for me, the thing that got me to the place of being able to function, because at one point I couldn't even function, like my life would fall apart during the winter months. But what got me to being able to function is the professional counseling that helped me understand what I was dealing with and helped me understand triggers and gave me tools. It doesn't go away, but it's definitely manageable. Like last weekend, I had moments where I just really was kind of in my, you know, funk, so to speak. Um,
Hmm.
but I was able to kind of push through, and it helped to have a change of scenery. But yeah, I would encourage you to still consider that, because that's the other piece with going to like spiritual advisors or even your friends and family, is because they have a vested interest in some way, and so usually their advice is skewed in some way, or they're maybe going off their experiences with you, whereas therapist is usually totally impartial to the whole situation from all angles. And so they're able to give you an objective perspective and help you see yourself in a way and the situation in a way that a person that's invested could never do. So that's why I'm such a huge proponent of that.
I'll give it some thought.
Please do, because this is it's not something that we can necessarily just push through, especially on the level that you're talking about it. Like, you need someone who can, even like me, I can't give you, advice and be there for you and support you in a way that you truly need it, because in a way I'm a friend. I have a perspective or a vested interest in some way. And the way I know you is not necessarily the full sum of who you are. And some things you would not be as open to share with me, because I know other people, and you don't have to really worry about that with a therapist. You don't have to worry about gossip. You don't have to worry about them turning what you've said against you, those sort of things. And do it while you still have medical insurance before you become an entrepreneur.
Right. Real quick, major depression can lead to a range of behavior and physical symptoms. This may include changes in sleep, appetite, energy level, concentration, daily behavior, and self-esteem. Furthermore, depression can also be associated with thoughts of suicide. All right. As you mentioned, it is important to seek support early. If you're experiencing anxiety, your symptoms may not go away on their own. And if left untreated, they can start to take over your life. And that's just to piggyback off what you just said.
Absolutely. And I always believe, like, from a spiritual perspective, like, when people are like, well, God will handle it, God will take care of it, I'm just going to pray about it. Well, yes, God gives us faith, but faith without works is dead. And God has also created all of the tools around us and the resources. So it's not like God is just saying magically, I'm fixing all of these things. He's saying, I have provided you with the tools and resources. And that includes therapists, and in some cases, if people really need it, medicine or natural supplements and things of that. I take natural supplements because I couldn't deal with the prescription drugs. I didn't like the side effects of them.
Right.
So I started taking natural supplements, and every year around August or so, I start on my regimen of about 5 or 6 different supplements, and I'll take them throughout the fall and winter. And then, once spring comes, I become myself again. It's like the weight of the season lifts off of me. Like, this week was my father's birthday on Thursday, the 19th. And as this is the first year without my father, like his birthday, first year that his birthday has occurred without him actually being here. And for me, my mom had a different reaction than me. And I'm dealing with my mom's grief too, of course.
Right.
And, she couldn't sleep for 2 days. And I found myself trying to avoid the conversation. And I didn't even acknowledge it until she was saying certain things. So I was like, well, yeah, today's his birthday. But I just didn't want to acknowledge it. I didn't want to live in it. I just kind of wanted to get past it and act like it, like, I know it's his birthday, but like, he's gone, and like, let me just move on. I got to start, like, I didn't want to think too much about it because I didn't want it to take me into a dark place at all.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off what Rachel said, a lot of times that moment right there, I feel like that's a lot of time when God wants you to spend time talking to him. So yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah, I agree with that, Rachel.
But I think there's levels. So I agree
Yeah.
with that. However, when you talk about clinical depression, I think that's on a different level. Like, when you got depression that's taking you to those dark places that, having you consider taking your life, that's different than, life is rough and I'm so stressed out that I'm depressed. To me, those are times where God is trying to kind of get our attention, to have us, spend time with him, to regroup and find our purpose and what he really has called us to do. I think that's totally different than clinical depression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because everyone experiences stress, and many people just experience depression on a, it's a sliding scale of what depression looks like.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's and that's something I learned, that dealing with depression and anxiety from within versus outward in, inward out. Because when you're dealing with it from the outside, that's all y'all see is y'all see y'all see this.
Mhm.
And it's a totally different thing within on the inside. So, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and Rachel brought up having a history with PTSD and major depression disorders. And I actually had a friend who really dealt with like major PTSD that was debilitating, like
Mm-hmm.
life in general, like holding a job and just functioning. And that to me was like, that was a level of like, you need medical kind of intervention to help with those things. And it was just based on a lot of trauma growing up that kind of caused his body to do that. And the PTSD like became physical, almost like, sometimes paralysis and seizure like, symptoms and all of that. And it was
Mm-hmm.
all from PTSD, which then led to depression because, like my life doesn't function the same and all of that.
And what I always share with people is, especially being a hairstylist, because of the connection with dealing with the scalp and the physical touch, you take on a lot of those spirits. And while everybody's free and have lifted because all of that's on you, you have to go home with the weight of that.
Hmm. So then that leads back to my question. Who
Hmm.
do you then get to pour that? Because that has to go somewhere.
Right.
So who now? You just named the family. You we know work because you're in management, and then you got your hairstylist side. You got all these people pouring, and in
Hmm.
your own life experiences from childhood, etc., even adult traumas. All this is in you, and everybody's just it's a dump. Everybody's dumping. Where are you relieving that outside of your own self?
Right. See, that's the problem. All of it is being bottled up, and it's just building and building.
So again, how are we going to fix that? Because you got to release.
Yeah.
It's like eating food. Like we can eat food, and people dumping on you is basically junk food. We're eating this junk food. What happens to our body if we don't release the waste?
Right.
The toxins build up and eventually destroy us.
Yeah.
It's the same in an emotional and mental way.
Hey, Coco.
Hey, Coco.
He meant Vale, of course.
Yeah, I'm so used to YouTube thinks my name
Right.
is evolution of cell too. So
Oh, um, in the past, I had outlets and avenues.
Mhm.
I think the sad part now is I no longer have those avenues. So yeah, it's taking a toll. So yeah, so eventually I will be seeking more professional help. Yeah.
Yeah, we're human. Like we can only take so much.
I just pray it's not too late.
It's never too late. You believe in God, right?
Yes, I do.
All right. who's really in control.
Right.
And it's all for a purpose. I think Rachel was making a comment about your experiences, and I think she was referring to when she said depression and all of that. Sometimes those experiences and the things, the traumas we experience are actually in order for us to be able to bless someone else through our testimony, through our experiences. It helps us minister to other people.
Yeah.
So there is that as well. So it's like you said, there is like, I never want to neglect the spiritual side of like, yes, this also means spend time with God and hear God and be at one, because he's also ministering to us of what he wants us to do with that, because it's not all for naught. It's like, what do I take this experience and how do I bless his people? How do I minister to his people through that?
Right.
Yeah, I think I kind of answered Coco's question about how would you help a friend that is dealing with childhood. You took it down as soon as I was reading
Oh,
it.
sorry, my bad. Go ahead.
Coco's comment: how would you help a friend who is dealing with childhood trauma in their adulthood and also suffering with depression, and posing this question to everyone? And so, like I said, I had a friend in that situation, and even what I'm saying now, for me, yes, I can be there, I can be supportive, but the truth is, I can't really help you because I'm not a professional, and I have a vested interest, a biased vested interest. So the truth is, you need, or people need, like an unbiased professional help, because sometimes it may need some level of supplements or medical pharmaceuticals, I guess, for lack of a better word. I don't have the ability to do any of that. I'm not a professional. And I just think, like, to get that real healing, besides the spiritual side, connecting with God, the other piece is that professional help. Like, I think as people, as friends, we have to also realize our limitations, and then sometimes we have to also keep in mind, sometimes you can be so busy trying to be a fixer that you then end up causing yourself issues, because now you're taking on that stress of, like, basically what even you just said, D, like everything from clients to, family, etc. You're taking on that weight, and you're not necessarily equipped to handle all of that, nor you got your own stuff you got to be taken care of too. So I think and I used to be a fixer, and so that's why I'm more mindful of it now. I used to be like, somebody compared it to like a wounded bird syndrome, broken wing syndrome. You see a bird with a broken wing and you want to nurture it back to health. And I used to be attracted to that. Like, if I saw someone who has some type of trauma, something that I felt like, man, if only this be better in their life or get fixed, or they can heal from this, they would, they got all this potential. I would be attracted to that. So I have a history of exes who had like things, and then I tried to fix them. And in the end, it really caused me my own traumas from those relationships, because I was never equipped nor meant to be the fixer for those situations. So I think as friends, we have to be mindful of that too. Because generally what happens if you start to look back at those relationships you were in, where people needed more than what you could give, maybe y'all end up falling out, or in the end you felt some kind of way, even if they got better, maybe you weren't a part of that better part of their life. Like, we have to just be very careful of that.
All right. And a lot of this comes from traumatic experience as childhood, is from, for example, sexual abuse, domestic violence that one has experienced before adulthood.
And then too, just real quick before you move on with that, some of that replay, well, most of that childhood trauma is replaying through adulthood. So even though it happened before, in adulthood, there's like, it's replaying, and now new stuff, new-ish, is happening out of the childhood situations that have now played into the relationships that went bad, and the work relationships that went bad, friendships, because all this things have just continued to play out.
So this sounds like a doom and gloom situation. Unfortunately, it can be. However, it does not have to be You can take control of your trauma by understanding what it is and how to heal yourself. Piggyback off what you just said. Um, and to add on, and this answers Coco question as well. Having caring adults and best friends who can help shield you from the pitfalls of abuse and neglect. Focus on overcoming your past to live your life full of prosperity, meaningful connections, love, and purpose. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So again, you have to kind of most likely to help the healing process, just like with a wound. You can't keep hitting a sore or a wound. You have to nurture it for it to start healing. So you have to get those people around you who are gonna be able to help you versus hurt you.
Well, and also you see the angle I'm coming from, because I'm very much so, I don't like to give a lot of weight to those who are the closest to you being that source of healing. And the reason is because those who love us, and it's like not taking away how much they love us and how much they would want us to heal and all that. The issue is we hurt each other just naturally, even when we're not trying to. And so if we put too much on that, expecting them to be the fixer that does not hurt, your delay, like the amount of time, they don't always have patience for it.
Hmm.
Even as I mentioned, like people accidentally might throw something in your face that you said that was private. You've even mentioned, without saying what it was, that you trust was lost in your relationship because something you said got out. Like
Hmm.
this is human stuff that happens in our friendships and relationships, and we cannot think that it won't. And so I have a hard time if you're like really in the depths of like needing healing, depression, etc., and you're
But
leaning towards.
Pavel, what I will say is there are people out there who are there for the best of your interests who won't allow
Absolutely.
that to get out. Because again, just like you losing a father, I can relate because I lost a mother.
Hmm.
Although it's two different people, but the loss is the same because it's a parent that you lost. I always say I can't talk to nobody who hasn't gone through a similar or same experience I went through because there's nothing you can tell me. And this is even a conversation me and Bambi had a few months back.
Hmm.
Life experience, majority of the time, is the best teacher.
Hmm.
So if I put people around me, and that's how you have to be careful of who you put around you. You have to know that these are the people who are going to be there to give you those advice. Because again, everybody can't doesn't have the money to go sit on a couch. Sometimes therapy can come as a gift.
I'm still holding my position, but I'm holding it because I'm still saying that you can have people around you who love and are there for you, but that situation can change. Like you needing this level of counsel and they're available and on the phone and talking to you every evening or a couple times a week, and you're working through these things. And then next thing you know, their life changes. They get in a relationship or their kids now need more attention or whatever. Now you're hurt and you're not healed. And now this causes some other level of trauma. That's kind of those nuances of what I'm talking about. Like it's rare you have a person completely give themselves to you and be consistent and not require something in return. Like you can get people to do that, but then that's probably the person who really wants to be in a relationship with you, and maybe you're not feeling that, and then once they get tired of realizing they ain't gonna go nowhere, now they're gone. Or the friend again who just has a life outside of you and your needs, and they might have a season of being able to do that, but then their life pulls them elsewhere. And I've seen it, and yeah, and so that's what I'm talking about. Not
well,
like purposeful hurt, but those things that you can't really control.
well, for me, everything is in seasons. Because even
Mhm.
if you're going to see a therapist, you're only doing that for a season. You're not seeing a therapist for life. You just
Some people do. I know people have been seeing therapists for 20 plus
hmm
years. So it depends on your needs. I've done seasonal. I've done like a year and a half here, a few months here, taken 5 years off. It depends. So some people take that seasonal approach, but some are consistent with their therapist just because that's what they need.
Mm. Depression was so bad that I could never hold a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, sure. Mm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know of like when you said affording, yes, that's true. And depending on where you live, I'll just say, but there are services out there that are free as well with counseling and all of that. Um,
Yeah. Those 1-800 numbers, huh?
Not necessarily. Like depending on where you live, like I know places that you get one-on-one therapy because that's what I was looking at when I first, even attempted to do therapy. I've never had to call a 1-800 number.
Mm.
Got it through my doctor and stuff, who was also free at that time. Yeah, and Coco saying everyone should have Monarch healthcare somewhere. He thinks
Mm.
I've never heard of that, so it could be depending on where you're located. It might be called something different. Income-based. Oh yeah, so not Diva. Coco's talking about income-based mental health care. So that's like the sliding scale, and so that's where I talked about my medical doctor, who then introduced me into being able to get therapy. That was all on a sliding scale. That was when I was an entrepreneur, didn't have medical insurance, and
Mm-hmm.
they just base it off your income. And sometimes my stuff was totally free. Sometimes it was $10 or whatever. Um, So I do believe there is, for the majority of people, there's some level of options. But again, not to totally neglect the friends and family. But I think sometimes we have to go a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
Because I know for me personally, like the stuff that I deal with and what I'm trying to do in life, most people that I know don't get it. And the advice that I have gotten in the past about some things was, again, biased and sometimes misguided, not on purpose at all, like totally out of love. I got a lot of people around me who love me and want the best for me, but what
Mm-hmm.
they envision and see me as and my life as is not what it really is. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Rachel.
Oh,
Hey.
Hey, Rachel.
hey, you guys, good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
good morning.
You know, I had to get my trade look together, okay, for y'all.
Nah.
I love
How
this
you doing this
conversation.
morning? Thank you.
Yeah, y'all talking about my topic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I had to come on in. Girl. Well,
Yeah, a lot of us deal with it. A lot of us deal with it quietly. But it's a real
Yeah.
thing.
yeah, I think now more than ever people are going to be dealing with a lot of traumas because of the whole pandemic and loved ones
Mm-hmm.
die or just, depression, major depression, I wouldn't say it's a trauma, but it's definitely depressing and it does affect your life, especially if it's a loved one that's like been a support or you're close to them. But I think because of the pandemic, we're like as a nation, a mass amount of people are going to be struggling. Um, I went to my so I had an appointment with my psychiatrist just recently, and I was like, "Bitch, I can't take it. I wanna pop every bitch at my fucking church." Girl, these people been messing with me, these people, and she's like, you know what, it's just very stressful right now, it's a stressful environment, everybody's acting out of their stress, their anxieties. So right now the temperature and the climate of the world essentially is very stressed, is very either they're going through some shit,
Mhm.
depression, you name it. that's the reality of it. But I would say the good news is, like we were saying, there are resources. And I was saying earlier, I didn't even have like a job, girl. So I didn't even know if I was gonna qualify for like food stamps or Medi-Cal, whatever, from the government, because I always quit my jobs. It wasn't like I was let go. So I wasn't sure if I would qualify, because a bitch just up and went one day, and just said deuces. So I wasn't sure it was gonna be like, no, ma'am, you. I said, ma'am, no, sir, you don't qualify because your ass done ran away. But I said, what did I say?
About them qualifying and running away, quitting jobs.
Hey, Coco. Yeah.
Hey, Coco.
Hello, everyone. I didn't want to interrupt your story while you was telling your story, Rachel. But go ahead, baby.
Yeah. I didn't have the money, the finances to see a therapist. All I know is, like, one day I was just like, oh man, I need to go see a doctor, because I was at the end of my rope. Like, it was really a dark time for me. So girl, me and Gina said, okay, bitch, we're going to the doctor. We're gonna get you some help, bitch, because she was like, bitch, you get on my last motherfucking nerve at this point. And so we went, and they did like an intake. They're like, oh yeah, you definitely have like PTSD, and like a major depressive disorder. So I went to the like the department for like services or whatever. I was like, yeah, girl, like I got PTSD. Like I haven't been able to hold a job. Like it's because, I've been living with PTSD and not knowing it, and now I finally just got diagnosed. Like, so they're like, oh yeah, bitch, we're gonna help you out. So they gave me medical and food stamps, and the medical like paid for all my therapy, psychiatry appointments, my meds. Even my meds were free. I had to do meds for like a few months, but that shit was all free, and I would say I was compliant with my treatment for about a good solid 4 years. Now I didn't know I was gonna be in remission with the PTSD. I never knew that, because they say that it may or may not go away for some people. I don't know about like major depression, but if you guys can answer that. But so I was basically like, okay, so I'm gonna be on this journey maybe for my whole entire life. I had to kind of come to that realization. But it was all paid for, praise God. And I think a lot of people would it's a factor in maybe not seeking treatment could be money. And I would say that shouldn't stop you to care for yourself and to seek help. And because there are, honestly, just contact some. Even if you do have to maybe call a telephone number at first, they could probably point you in the right direction. You don't say you have to always do that, but they may be able to point you into the right direction depending on where you live, to like the right resources.
My concern is I just don't want nobody to put me on medication and pills.
You don't have to be on medication. Like I just told you, I'm not on any. There are natural supplements as well, and that part is up to you, to be honest. Like they don't force you anything.
Yeah, they don't force you. Yeah, that was my whole thing about going and getting help as well. Is it's a stigma behind it, and that's just one of the reasons men won't talk about mental health. And they don't think they need it. It's another reason. So if you feel like you are showing signs of depression, hopelessness, impulsive and risky behavior, you're changing appetite, you're changing your sleep, anything like that, just make sure you reach out to your doctor and talk to someone. Knowing your stressors are a big thing too.
Yeah. That's
And
why
I will say, I was
that's why I
going to
work so
say,
hard.
yeah. And we tend to have vices that we create to try to suppress it, and then at a certain point that doesn't work anymore. But what I will say with me, what really the biggest thing I got out of therapy was learning my triggers, learning like I could see the signs before it gets too bad. So literally the first day or two that I'm feeling a certain way or experiencing thoughts of like, oh, I don't want to be around anyone or anything. Like I know those things are my triggers that used to take me into that dark place of, 2 weeks of not leaving the house. And, I've lost jobs over that too, just not going to work, no call, no show, all of those sort of things. And realizing years later, it was all because of my seasonal affective disorder.
Gotcha. See, I just see it's not getting better throughout the years. That's just where I'm at right now.
And it generally will only get worse until you get the, sort of treatment that you need and the tools. And then it becomes at least manageable. I think all three of us are, Rachel and Coco and myself are basically saying we've kind of gotten the tools, not that we don't have any of that anymore, but we have the tools to function.
Right. The coping mechanisms. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Gotcha.
And like my therapist said, and I'm speaking for myself, but like I said, I was one day they're like, okay, you're in remission. Like, you don't have to come see us anymore if you don't want to. But if something comes up, like you have you get triggered or something, and you're going through, you still need to talk to somebody. Just come, make an appointment, and we'll take it from there. But, and that's okay too, because I know there's people out there that go and they have treatment for so many years, and then they don't need to go anymore. But then we think that, okay, I have these tools still, so there's no reason for me to go back to see a therapist. But it doesn't hurt to just revisit, make an appointment if you feel like, okay, I think I need to see my therapist maybe just one more time.
And that's a great point, Rachel. I literally just came out of that season where I was seeing my therapist for probably close to 2 years straight, and then life just got busy, and I kind of, excuse after excuse, and next thing you know, I wasn't going. But I felt okay because I had all these tools and knew what to do, and life was okay. But about 6 months ago, about 6 months ago, I was starting to say, I kind of feel like I need to start going back. It wasn't like I couldn't function, but I started having experiences and things happening that were saying, I think I need like a tune-up, so to speak. And then probably 2 months ago now, I locked in, was like, I have to go. Like I felt like I was about to lose it with work and losing my father, in April, and now taking care of my mom in a way I never had to, and all of these things, YouTube. And I was like, hey, I dialed up texted my therapist and was like, hey, can you fit me in? And we just resumed. So now I've been doing my sessions once a week on Wednesday morning, since for the past 2 months or so. And it is already like lighting, life ain't changed, but it's
lighten the whatever that load or you feel like,
the darkness, the heaviness, where I was starting to feel like, oh shit, I'm about to fall apart. Like I might not be able to handle this,
we were talking about medicines earlier, and I kind of wanted to speak on that because I was never, well, first of all, I had an older brother growing up who had ADHD, and they put him on medicine, and then he developed Tourette syndrome. He developed a tic because of it. And so I was always afraid of meds. So when I first started going years back to like see my psychiatrist, she was like, okay, well, like, I want to put you on these meds. And I was honest, like I told her, I was like, I don't feel comfortable taking meds. I don't want to take meds. And she basically said, well, as a psychiatrist, that's kind of what I'm here for, because I can tell you what meds to take. The therapist really works with you with talking about things and stuff, which the psychiatrist does too, but they talk about things to see what medicines they could prescribe. So again, I was very fearful of the medication, and they were like, I think Coco said earlier, they'll work with you. They don't pressure you. they really like are there to just say, hey, like this is what I could offer as a solution, but you don't have to. And it honestly, like my psychiatrist would prescribe me meds, and I would have the prescription, but I wouldn't get the meds. And it took me like a good 2 months to finally say, okay, I think I want to start trying meds, because I want to try something else, because it's the therapy's great and all, but sometimes you do need something to deal with those mountainous swings of depression. Like it feels like a mountain is just weighed on you.
Yes, it's like
a weight,
hormone imbalance. Yeah.
Right. So it took me months to finally say, okay, I'm gonna start trying my meds. And granted, I'm a piehead. I smoke every day, all day. So that was another thing that scared me. It's like I don't want to take meds, and then my psychiatrist doesn't know that I'm
See, I told my psychiatrist.
Okay. Because then she
I
would be
did.
like, oh, bitch, you should have told me you was smoking the ganja, bitch. I almost killed you with that prescription, you know? Who knows? So that's why I was really fearful. So honestly, like for like a good month, I quit weed. I started the meds, and it was good. Like honestly, it really did help. But again, I was a pie, so it took me a while to quit smoking weed. And then I was just on this one prescription.
Hey, Kimmy Brown.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy.
Hey, Kimmy. Don't you fucking interrupt me again when I'm talking, D-Star. Anyway.
To say hi.
Well, I had to catch. She at work, so I had to catch her.
Hey, Kimmy.
You could have typed in the chat.
I ain't touching no button.
Yeah.
As you were, Rachel.
Because I know I'm going to be talking. You know, it took me a while. I finally got comfortable, and then I started feeling like I was getting headaches or a little nauseous. So I would tell my psychiatrist, look, I'm feeling like a little bit of this, and she's like, okay, well maybe you should stop. So I stopped, and I went to just smoking weed again. But the point is, like with the meds, I wouldn't be afraid. If you are, take your time.
Go in the kitchen,
There's
honey.
no rush. And make sure you're not like mixing it with other drugs too.
Right.
All the same place.
Yeah, I had that experience too. Because my brother, when he's adopted, and when he was about 5 or 6 years old, they put him on Ritalin, and I watched like how it just made him almost like a zombie, and kind of changed his personality. And so I really like had an issue with any of the psychotic kind of drugs. And so it was recommended. I did the same thing as Rachel. Like I told them I was hesitant, but yet I wanted healing. And so I took the prescription, and then it literally took me about the same, like 2 months or something, to finally get them filled. And then it took a little while before I actually tried them. For me, they put me on Lexapro and Wellbutrin. And what I didn't care for was feeling like I was a little emotionally numbed to like things that either would get me excited or upset. Like it was just like very even keel with my attitude, and I noticed that. But the other piece was like it started to affect like sexual performance, and that was one of them. So I stopped, and I started researching like natural supplements, which I just feel like maybe mine wasn't as like heavy. So I think supplements
as severe.
Yeah, as severe. Thank you. As severe. So I think I was able to kind of fill in the gaps with a lot of supplements, but supplements nonetheless. So I've been doing that for a few years. But yeah, but again, like I got off the stuff. Nobody was pressuring me, any of that, and I haven't had any of those prescription drugs in probably 5 to 7 years, something like that.
And not to piggyback off of Rachel or Vail, but to piggyback off of them, I saw the same thing with my brother. Um, Growing up, he was also ADHD, and they put him on medication, and he became a zombie.
Hmm.
And that always stuck to me, like, I don't need this type of medication. I don't want that. But
Hmm.
when they give you a medication, what I do is I look up all of the side effects for that medication, because that is most of the medication that they have out there do have negative side effects. One could be a psychotic break, and I was on a prescription that called psychotic breaks, and I had to tell my doctor. I said, "Look, this isn't helping me. I'm feeling worse than I did before."
Hmm.
Mm.
So yes, you definitely have to make sure when your doctor prescribes you a medication, just do your research on that medication and find out if you want to take it or not.
Hmm.
So you get the supplements from your doctor as well?
The
No, I
supplements,
purchased. Oh, you
yeah,
talking Coco?
yeah, you can get the supplements. You can just purchase those from a store.
Yeah, I get.
Normally, I go to GNC, stuff like that.
Yeah, I get mine from Amazon basically. Now that I like have my regimen, somebody's asking what supplements do you
Mm.
take? I don't know if they're talking to Coco or
Yeah,
both of us.
both. That's why I threw the question out.
I do, and I'm trying to go off the top of my head because I don't have them here. I'm not at home, but I have Sammy, L-lysine, um, St. John's wort. I just started black seed oil this year. I do fish oil, gummies now. I love those.
Hmm.
And of course, multivitamins and vitamin D because I have a vitamin D deficiency. So I started with a prescription regimen from my doctor. And then after I went through that, it was like a 4-week regimen. And after I went through that, he was like, just continue to take over the counter vitamin D. And then I do like 2 more that I can't think of. Oh, I just started doing they're not the Goalies brand, but the apple cider vinegar
Hmm.
gummies or supplements. So
Gotcha. And you take these every day?
hmm yeah.
All right. Cool.
And I don't experience the like deep dark depression that I've literally laid up in bed. Well, for one, I've attempted suicide at like 19 years old, tried to kill myself in the garage with the car running, woke up like 2 hours later, like what the hell? I'm still here. So that was a sign that like God is like, no, thank you. And then it was one time in my early mid 20s. I think I was in my mid 20s. It was through my seasonal effects. So it was like the winter and I was so depressed that I couldn't function. I couldn't work. And I had lost my job just because I didn't go. And then I ended up looking for a new job and I was really excited to get this potential new job and it fell through. It didn't happen. And I found myself that night, I was like in total despair just from all of that, the work stuff, but also just being in this dark place and every day just felt heavy and dark. That I literally, it was something that came in my mind was just like, kill yourself, just kill yourself. Like, and I literally had to start praying. I really felt like there was like a demon spirit trying to tell me to take my life. And I just got up and just started praying. And literally since that day, and again, that was, I'm a lot older than my mid 20s, even though I don't look it. But literally since that day, since that time, like I have stayed away from that mindset of suicide or whatever. Because for one, my life is like way better than it was back then. And so there's a level of no matter how dark it gets, I know that I can overcome it and, greater is coming. So that has also helped. But that's that spiritual connection,
Mm-hmm.
trying to, because I never want to take away like what all I'm saying about the professional part and the supplements and all that. I still never want to take away that you got to be spiritually grounded
Yes.
with your purpose and your calling. Those are the things that if you keep your eyes straight on that, no matter what you're going through, you have something to look forward to. Like, I'm created for something greater than this situation. This situation is not the be all and end all of my life, nor the things that have happened to me.
Yeah, I think that's where self-care comes into play.
Yeah, I'm glad you repeated that, Coco, because I saw your comment about that, and that's hugely important.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Diva, thank you so much. Diva said, I'm the epitome of the fountain of youth. I agree.
Mm.
Stop lying to him, Diva.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little smoke being blown up a butt. I like that sometimes. I like things being blown up a butt.
Coco.
Please don't gas him up. Stop gassing him up. He's full.
Coco.
Yes.
Did Val tell you?
No, Val didn't tell me.
D, do you need to play this with me first?
What? Nah, nope.
What you about to say?
We didn't sleep together, Val?
Boy.
Oh, really, Val? Without me? Oh, really?
I never went to sleep.
I can't what y'all
You
do.
sure about that? All I said,
I'm so gone.
all I can say was it was the evolution.
You are doing too much on this live.
Did you evolve? Oh my goodness.
I did. I came out better.
I know that's right. Ooh. Oh, so better. I can't.
The extraness of this.
Is it extra?
Don't go like Monica, baby.
I thought we were talking about a serious topic.
Well, you have to lighten up the mood every now and then.
I don't think the audience is fully healed yet.
Just on the lighter side, y'all.
Well, you helped me when we slept together.
Wait,
that's all the healing I needed.
Didn't you just say it was a heavy weekend for you? So in other words, it didn't work too well. Maybe I need a replay. I need a redo.
I have a question.
Yes,
I don't know how, but my audio magically started working again.
Just at this point.
I've been busy, bitch. But I just want to know, is y'all a little idol or what? Y'all dated?
No. We're friends.
Y'all fucking?
No, this is all content. This is all YouTube content. This is a show. You do know this is YouTube.
What is right.
Content creators.
Diva, put up Diva's comment real quick.
Right, Bambi ain't even in the comments.
He's not even here, so no, you cannot blame Bam on this one.
Oh my gosh.
No, this is just like your unscripted reality show. This is a different version of that.
Oh, this ain't okay.
Oh, it's scripted. Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
I didn't get the script.
That?
Hold on, let me go back. Let me see if I can find the script.
You want to hold your audience. You got to give them a little plot.
Interesting. Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that, Go.
Oh yeah.
Who doing that? Oh, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel always dropping that. Hold up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
She said.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah, she said all she wanted to say. Her business was complete. That's why she left.
Who left?
Rachel.
Girl, it's this fucking technology. I keep hitting the wrong button.
Mm-hmm.
It's not technology. That's you, boo.
Girl, I've not been on these motherfucking YouTube streets in a minute. I forgot how it all went down.
Yeah.
Girl, I literally keep closing my. I keep hitting done or this butt done button.
Yes, like Royalty Forever says, she goes to a place called Portage Path there in Ohio, and they have a free care
And a
and a
sliding
sliding scale.
Okay.
What's the
Mm-hmm.
sliding scale?
So they base how much you pay based on your income.
On your income, yeah. So it's like income based,
And
and
if
then
you
it
have no
goes
income,
from
you
there.
pay nothing. And
You
literally,
pay
it's
nothing.
well, I know here we have a place called Howard Brown, and they have like a bunch of locations. And they
And where is here, Val?
what's that?
Where is here?
Where is here?
Well, I'm not here today, but in Chicago, where I live. Yeah, and they have it throughout Chicago. It's called Howard Brown, and they do the sliding scale, but it's literally the honor system. You just fill out a form and you tell them your income. You don't have to prove it at all. Yes, D the stars.
You're not in Chicago?
No, I'm in a surrounding area.
Oh, the
Are you,
sisterhood
like,
of the
long
traveling
distance?
pants, huh?
Yes. It hasn't been
As long
since
as I got my hour, I'm not worried about it.
I made sure you got your hour.
So how far are you from D-Star? Are you like a few states close, or are you like
Oh
9
no,
hours?
a 16-hour drive and a 2.5-hour flight, or 2 hours and 40 minutes, depending.
I once drove 17 hours for some dick. Not gonna lie.
What? Child,
Once.
y'all about to flare up my anxiety. Let me go back on mute.
D Star is he's very busy working and not on the right things.
Ooh.
Oh, Val. Val.
Now, can I ask you a personal question?
Who is that?
Ooh.
Who is that for?
For you, Val.
Oh, I don't disclose such things because I do like to leave mystery for those who will have that evolution of Veil experience.
Anonymity.
Well, has D-Star cracked that code?
Have you cracked that code? Do you want to crack that code?
We'll save that for another time, Rachel.
Right.
Come on, is this the Da Vinci Code? Did anybody crack it?
So.
Oh my gosh. Good old Val. Val.
Val is very handsome.
What was that, 45 minutes or an hour?
Wait, what was what?
I lost track of time.
It was about an hour.
We sat together. It was an hour.
Well, it must be wasn't too good because I'll give you at least 2.5 hours.
I mean, an hour is good.
It depends on how deep the sleep is.
Coco. Coco mute. Coco mute. I can't play with Coco.
I tell you, y'all flaring up my anxiety, child. I gotta go.
Oh my!
Yeah, y'all flare my anxiety up too. Shit. Or that just might be sexual tension. Either one, I don't know. So what's new? What's the tea, y'all? Oh my gosh! So I'm gonna meet Oliver Twixt, I think, next week.
Oh, cool!
Oh, nice.
Have y'all been watching Chasing Atlanta?
Oh, you get to meet
Yes,
Olivia Twixt.
Girl, I'm gonna meet Olivia. She's coming to LA, bitch. She's coming.
Lauren coming too?
Lauren's coming too.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yes.
I
Is
came
my
in
girl
Orlando.
gonna be there? Little Kendra.
I wish. She's my favorite.
I love me some TS Little Kendra.
Okay.
And if y'all don't know who TS Little Kendra is, y'all check out Chasing Atlanta on YouTube.
Yes. That's my girl. Speaking of major depression, I feel like this job is giving me a little fucking depression. I'm not gonna lie. I think
Is it depression or is it anxiety?
Well, definitely anxiety. But it did give me a little depression. I'm not gonna lie. There was like 2 weekends that I didn't film. I actually quit, and yeah, because it was just like too much mess, and like I felt like I was being set up, and a bitch told me.
You always feel like you being set up.
I know, right? Because that's the PTSD. Okay, that's the PTSD in me.
That's that. Yes.
Bitches trying to set me up. These bitches is trying to set me up. But no, like one of the girls was like, "Fucking girl, she came for me hard, bitch," on a text, and I was about to murder that bitch, and I said, "Nope, I quit." But I'm back.
Rachel, I found a picture what you were talking about earlier.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Oh, okay.
That part.
See, I'm afraid.
That is definitely, that's me. Yes, work, stress, anxiety, pain. Yes, flick me over there to the other side and catch me with some OG Kush. Catch me with some OG Kush, please. I like that. You gonna have to send that to me. D, you gonna have to send it.
Oh my.
So I'm the narc of the group. I'm the narc of the panel because I don't smoke.
You know, it's okay.
But you do drink though.
Yeah, but I don't drink often at all. I don't even drink. I don't even drink on a weekly basis or even monthly.
But when you drink though.
He get wasted. He get white girl wasted.
No, I don't.
I got the receipts.
I have.
You do know I got the receipts, right?
No, I'm not gonna say I've never had a lot of drinks, but
I'm just saying
that's not often at all.
You're just saying you don't get sloshy drunk, right?
I'll never get so drunk that I can't control myself or what I do or remember what I did. Never.
Well, I have done that in my earlier years, maybe my mid-20s. Yes, I would get so wasted, child, that I would somehow my car was on autopilot and it just drove me home, and I was sleeping in it. I was like, "What the?" I don't know how that happened. How did I get home?
The grace of God.
The grace of God, and that's all I could say. That's all I could say. It was the grace of God.
Right, Bridget. Why D trying to act like I'm some drunk slut or something?
It was a special occasion. It was.
Yeah, and I still wasn't like I wasn't.
Did you hold on, Val? Did you say drunken sweater?
No, I said drunk slut.
Oh, okay. I was like, what?
I didn't throw up. There was no acting crazy. Well, I was acting crazy, but I wasn't acting crazy. I didn't do anything that was embarrassing.
Were you?
I wouldn't take any of it back.
Were you twerking?
I never. I'm not a twerker.
Oh, you're not a twerker.
Oh my god.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, hey, it's okay. You know. Just be ready for the prosecution to really like dig into that story. It sounds like
Dig
it's
into
full
the
of
story.
holes. That story sounds like it's full of holes.
At least one for sure. Maybe 2 holes.
Oh,
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, I have a high tolerance for alcohol too.
not an entire bottle, Diva.
I drank
Diva,
an
the
entire
entire
bottle pretty much
bottle
on
and
Saturday.
not be drunk. I think
Is it-
you are drunk. You just don't realize that you are drunk.
She's like,
You
I need
feel
to
like
drink
you're
more.
not drunk.
Like, I
You're
need to
like,
drink
oh,
more
I
to
could
do
use
this.
another drink. That's that's when you know you're feeling good.
I think when you
Yeah.
like you can't walk and you maybe are doing things that are embarrassing or throwing up or acting a fool, I think I call that drunk. But if
I
I'm
call that wasted. If I'm drunk, I'm just feeling
Wasted.
good.
okay, well
Then
that
again, it depends. Then again, it depends on what you're drinking.
true.
Bro, is that different for each person? Because I like tequila, but not a lot of people that I know don't like it.
Right, and everybody say they get drunk off tequila. It don't tequila. I don't get drunk off tequila.
Really?
Well,
I do
one
shots
of my
all night.
vices was actually vodka. Like that was my go-to thing, and alcoholism runs in my family, so I had to be very
Hmm.
careful with that.
Yeah.
Um, and it wasn't until one of my friends actually said something to me
Mm.
That's
that
how
I
I am
was,
about weed because I grew up
oh,
around
oh,
all the adults smoking it, and many of them ended up on crack and dead and all that. And so I like equate it, like going too far with it. And I do believe I have an addictive spirit. I know I have an addictive spirit. So I kind of feel like if I get on that, then I'm gonna feel a little looser to try this and then maybe try that. And then next thing you know, I'm gonna crack it. So
well,
Diva
they
wine.
say that weed is the
That's
gateway to other drugs, but I don't think it is.
I don't think it is as much as it used to be, but I think there was a time when that was somewhat true, more true than
all I
not.
can. All I can say. I have not heard any bad stories about weed.
I haven't heard
Oh, I
anybody
have.
like overdosing on weed.
What did
I've
he do
never
with
heard.
weed? What story? I
People
want to hear
who've
this.
gone on trips and lost their mind forever. But those
That's
were, weed that was
Mm,
laced, but they didn't
laced,
know it was
right? That
laced.
was laced,
But they
right?
didn't
Yeah,
know
but
it.
That was ketamine.
right, but regular weed that's not
so that
laced,
was
you
that was
does
a
not
Bill
do that
Cosby.
for you. Does not do that for you.
Yeah, but how
The
you know
natural,
what you getting? How you know what you're getting?
the natural herb, right?
How
Because
you know what you're getting?
if you buy your own and roll your own, you'll know what you're
No, you
You
getting.
can't buy
know,
it. You got to grow it. Because if you buy it, you don't know where it came from. You got to grow
Well,
it.
depending on who you buy it from.
it depends
Well, do
on
you smoke
yeah,
weed?
because you
If
can.
they growing it
Some
in their
weed is
backyard
grown
and you
in dispensary, so yeah,
right, so yeah, it just
they do the growing and they also
depends
sell.
But now we
on
have
who.
dispensaries. We didn't have all that when I was growing up.
Oh, well, right. Well,
They
yeah,
don't grow it in the
yeah.
ground
I
anymore.
can say
We did
is
have a dispensary, and it was called Uncle Junebug. We just didn't know it was a dispensary.
it has done me no wrong. It has done me no wrong.
No, to each his own. I don't judge people who do it. It's just not for
Mhm.
me. I'm good.
Yeah,
My mom and my father did it for like half my childhood.
it helps with the anxiety. It does.
It
Hmm.
does.
And I have
It
friends who
really
are on
does.
it for that reason.
Mhm.
So yeah, I get all that.
I'm not gonna lie though. I
Yeah,
feel like it
marijuana
gives
can
me
help
more
with a lot of
anxiety
different things.
sometimes.
And Vel,
I feel
it
like I feel
help
like
it
depending on
help
which strain
it
it
help ease
is.
the pain when it's too big.
Poppers? We're talking about poppers. I thought they were talking about
No,
marijuana. How you get on
that's what we're
poppers?
talking. I didn't say poppers, did I?
I don't know
No, you
nothing
say
about no
easy.
poppers.
Nigga, I
I'm.
I
never
feel
used
like
the
I
word
get really
poppers.
mad.
It's,
I didn't say
I
nothing
feel
about
like I'm in a
poppers.
motherfucking porno when I do poppers.
I didn't say nothing about poppers.
that's what it is, isn't it? Isn't it like a porn drug?
Well,
Yes.
I don't
Is
know,
it a
but
porn drug?
it
Have I done
it feels like
it?
being a
Yeah,
porno.
yes. When I did a threesome, yes, we did. I briefly did poppers, but
Girl, it
that's
felt
for
like a
another live and another conversation.
poppers make
Well,
you feel
I
like
mean, we've
letting
already
go.
started
Okay,
talking about it.
So is
What we're
poppers
not
the
talking
Well, we're
same
about.
talking
thing
about
as the rag?
speaking of.
As what?
As the rag?
The rag?
Yeah, this is what they called it in South Carolina. It was like, um, what's the stuff you clean out like your keyboard to your desktop?
Right. Right.
Yeah, and they used to spray it in a rag
Oh,
and
the
sniff it.
Hmm.
I
aerosols.
thought that was to knock people out so you could rape them.
Aerosol, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, talking about that weed and
No.
anxiety. Since we're on the
No.
topic, I wanted to say something
Uh-huh.
real quick. Okay,
Okay.
so I even read it too, and like
Hmm.
my doctors have told me, but and I even feel like sometimes some weeds, because you know there's different strands, different stuff. I feel like some weeds can increase your anxiety, and I felt
Yes.
that personally. So I feel like certain strands are they work well for those with like maybe a major depressive disorder or PTSD, anxiety.
Hmm.
Um, some can be very like increasing of your anxiety though. So beware. Just pay attention, and stay away from the ones that if you feel like they do increase your anxiety, then yes, try to stay away from those ones.
Right.
So back to those poppers, D.
We are
And
So
what?
we
Oh,
are
I,
not.
Oh,
We
look
are
at you!
not Veil. We are not
Look at
huh?
you!
the evolution of
we have
Veil.
to
We are
finish the
not.
time. That's
We
not how we
are
can.
we are not the evolution of Veil. We said we will talk
I just
about
feel
that
the
on a
audience is going to
different
be
line.
very disappointed in
I
us, like,
can't.
not fully
Is
exploring our
or is
topic.
it Coco? Don't you have a birthday coming up?
Like they're waiting, so you feel like they're waiting for it. I
Yeah,
do.
like, right.
He-
Well,
I'm sorry,
Coco,
y'all.
for your
What day is your
Coco on
what
your
day is your
Yeah,
birthday.
birthday?
it's the
I'm
4th
about
of
to put
December.
I'm about
So on the
come
4th
on,
of
fourth.
December,
Coco.
Coco,
I'm finna mute.
4th of December, Coco, will you be using
Back to what I was saying.
Well, see, I don't need the poppers, but
Don't be muting me. I was just moving the topic along.
Co-host,
well, I
we is
think
not
I
gonna
should get the
cut up
same
on this
treatment
line.
as you. I
What
feel like I
happened?
should get the same treatment as you on your birthday weekend. I should get that same treatment, so I might need the poppers. Yeah.
See, royalty doesn't know what poppers are. She wants you to explain, D.
Like I said,
We
that
have
would
a
be the
question from
first.
the audience.
I break.
Okay.
I'll break down the rag and poppers on a different line.
So now she got one.
Right. This one is talking about what's the topic of this conversation?
What's that?
What's the topic of this conversation?
Poppers and depression?
Exactly. No, that is not in my title.
Well, I thought poppers were a part of vices that people use for
Coco,
depression and
Coco,
anxiety.
Coco, Coco,
Let's
Wasn't that
Coco,
what we
talk
were
about that,
talking
Coco,
about?
Coco.
Coco,
Hmm?
Coco, Coco.
Yes. Yes.
You be doing good on the ship. Then you try to lean over. I'm gonna push
You
you
know what,
off.
D
Keep it.
Star?
Someone
D-Star,
hold me
Coco.
on this ship. Woman overboard.
No, D-Star. Coco did
Uh-huh.
bring up a good way to look at it. That's a good perspective. So some people who try to alleviate their anxiety or depression will go to
Hmm.
things like poppers, you know? They'll
Or
go
other
to
drugs.
Hardcore
things like
sex.
things to make them
Hardcore
Hardcore
sex.
to make
sex.
them
You're absolutely right.
or
Risky
to make them feel
behavior.
good, right?
Yes.
Right? They'll to alleviate. So, but that's the problem though. Is that those things are only temporary, right? They don't fix
Hmm.
the
Right.
problem long term. They only make you feel good for that moment. So
Hmm.
it's a dead end, really.
Yeah, my therapist told me to watch out for that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes people want to replace that pain with another kind of pain. And so, bigger, fisting, all of that. And it's like, but it's
I knew
temporary.
you were going
Like,
there.
because their mind is going to a different kind of pain, which makes you forget about the daily pain you're experiencing, the
I
emotional
do
pain you're
Diva
experiencing.
Wine. I
You
do.
prefer a physical pain over the emotional pain. So that's where you get into,
So is
toys that
that
might.
considered self harm?
That does
I think
sound
only
like
if you need medical attention after.
I mean, yes, I would say yes, because if you replacing that with sex and you having 12, 13, to 14 inches rammed into you five,
mhm.
6 times by 6 people, yes, I would
I'm
say
a,
yes.
I'm
What
a
about 4
definitely
people or 2
attachment
people?
myself.
What about only one person ramming? Is that healthier?
No, it is not healthier. If you going above the normal, what you normally take,
Right.
But people who
right?
are 13, 14, they need love too.
That's why it's people out there who is for them that take 13 to 14.
But I mean, it starts off painful in order for you to be able to accommodate. And eventually you adjust.
No. If you've already adjusted to it, then you won't have any pain.
In the beginning, you do though.
No.
And that's why you need poppers.
If you're
See, back
deep
to the poppers, full
already,
circle.
if you're
And then
deep
the
already,
poppers
you, you
relieve the anxiety. So yeah,
There you go.
it
Full
does
circle.
tie itself in. It does.
It does.
no,
It
that is
does
not that
because
is not
it does tie itself in. It does
Mhm.
because people use these things as a form
look,
of
I
coping
And
look,
speaking
I
of
with
try
depression
tying
and
in,
anxiety.
Coco, Coco, what do you think about being tied? Bonded?
here we go. See, this is what we do. This is what we
No,
do.
Coco made a great point about
Is
tying
this
it
what we
in.
do it?
This is what we doing. Veil. I need
I'm
Well,
you
I
to
just
guess you could say
act
I'm a
right.
little Tony
I need you
Braxton.
to act
You know, I like a little
right.
hands tied.
because sometimes it's like relieving. Like sometimes
Okay.
the stress that we feel and anxiety, because I'm still on the stress and anxiety and depression. Sometimes it's because we're carrying so much weight of always being in control and leading. And so sometimes being able to submit in some area of your life, even if it's through bondage, is a way
Hmm.
of kind of mentally
Diva
coping.
made a good point.
Yeah, I did that too.
Hmm.
I did that too. I definitely went through that stage.
Hmm.
I didn't. I leaned into it to do it more. That's what I did. That was my outlet.
Wait, what?
That was your coping mechanism.
Yep.
Here's something that too, like I did have I can relate to that too. I had similar, but then also too, like I wanted to isolate myself. So like, when it became to like, it got to a point where it was just like, bitch, I don't want to talk to nobody, no person. I just want to be alone. I'll jacks off if I have to. And it was that for a minute, but then it changed. But it was like, bitch, I didn't want to. I isolated myself. That was one of my things. What was that called? Like a disassociativeness, like Anyways, but yeah, I I didn't want to be like I didn't want to be with nobody. I just got
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I just like isolated myself from everybody.
And
Hmm.
that's usually
Mm.
my go-to. That's one of my triggers and one of my signs when I start to want to remove myself from people and I
Yeah,
don't
when
want
you
to be on the
retract.
phone. I don't want to respond
Hmm.
to anyone and it's just me, myself and I. Then I know that I'm starting to go down that dark path because I can go
Hmm.
weeks with no human interaction.
And that I'm glad you said that because that is one of the signs of knowing that you have a mental illness or depression is
Mm-hmm.
withdrawal from family and friends and a
Mm-hmm.
lack of interest in activities. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I've literally been in like family social environments, like say the holiday and around the holidays is when I experienced this. So I've literally been like at Thanksgiving or Christmas and literally like the family's having fun. I love the people, I enjoy them normally, but I'm like, man, I just want to go home. I just want to be by myself. And not that anyone
Hmm.
has done anything, but I just don't want to be around it. I feel awkward. I feel like an outsider in a way. And
Hmm.
again, through no action of anyone there, it's just like this
In
mental.
particular, right? Yes, I felt the same way.
Royalty, I
Like,
will say, we don't hide. We just move back into that mystery side of us. So I get you on that, cause yes, I stay hidden. I come out only when I need to.
You come only when you need to.
Yep.
Oh, I
oh,
heard that too.
So you
oh
hide it till you
wow.
need to come out.
He come
What
only when he
happened?
need to.
You hide it till
He
you need to come.
said,
Well, you know, Val, when we slept together, you remember?
I
Was
saw
you
a lot of
hiding?
hiding. I ain't see a lot of coming.
Well, I'm
I
gonna
missed out.
come.
Well, I supposed to see more coming than hiding.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
you do.
come to Florida.
uh,
Rachel,
that part.
we told you, Val got cakes, right?
He got cake.
I brought him
Yes, he
birthday
do.
cake. It was his birthday, so he had cake for his birthday.
It was camouflaged.
Not for me.
Wow, Bell. That's what it's giving, Bell.
No, it came like he had
Oh,
camouflage font over the cake.
My
Wasn't that
gosh.
oh,
camouflage font? Or am
I
I?
didn't see I didn't see camouflage. I saw what was under the camouflage. I'm just saying.
Oh, you just got
okay.
straight to that
My
moisty
God.
cake. Okay.
That part.
Bridget says, "What cake?" I agree with you, Bridget. What cake?
I thought he had a.
Bridget,
Okay, Bridget was
Oh,
there. That's right. It was a whole threesome.
it
Bridget.
was. It was a
Okay.
No, it wasn't.
thruple.
Because remember, Bridget went to
It
go
was.
take a nap. Remember?
Oh, Bridget did go take a nap.
Right.
Bridget
Bridget
left.
took a
Right.
nap. That's when
Hmm
that's when the cake came out.
Bridget, you need to get
Bridget
in
didn't
there,
Bridget
see
said,
no
"I
Bridget.
cake.
didn't see no cake," and she got the birthday cake. Bridget, you didn't see no cake.
Because it
Nah,
was
I
for
didn't
the
see no
birthday
cake.
boy.
The cake was on the cake was more towards the floor. I think it fell on the floor. Did you look on the floor? Because from where I was watching, I saw the cake on the floor.
That was some
And
good
then the
cake.
cake was on the table.
And
Oh
this is
my
an example.
gosh.
This is an example of how hoes with major depressive issues handle their fucking shit. They turn into comedians and shit.
Right.
They were.
We
Well, it's always better to
Y'all,
laugh. It's
right?
always better to laugh.
I heard Lucille Ball. She was like really famous, but like other comedians too. Like they've gone through some trauma, right?
Hmm.
Hmm
hmm
Some depression, and I
They
think
said most
like
comedians.
if you're go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that they say most comedians, their humor comes from their pain. Like most of them haven't experienced trauma, like major life traumas, or they have
hmm
different mental health issues, and somehow that comedy comes through that.
Yeah.
and so do your recording artists.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Artists in
Absolutely.
general. I guess we can say
Absolutely.
artists.
Yes,
Hmm
I think we can just
absolutely.
say
Like
artists.
Brandy just came from out of a deep depression.
Oh,
Yeah.
did she?
And she wrote, yes, that's what B7 is all about.
Oh,
yeah.
And she just put that pain
It's
into her
like
music. I was, oh,
Yeah.
you put
You got to put the pain
that, like you
somewhere.
said.
well, in order to get something,
Right.
see where
you
you been putting
gotta
your pain.
eat something.
What happened?
It was an old lady sitting under a tree.
What happened? What did you say there?
No, I was just asking where have you been putting your pain? Did you cause pain where you put the
In
pain?
my game.
In your game? You
In my
gained?
game. I gained, yeah.
So
I
the
gained
more you
about
gain, the more pain you caused?
I gained about like 9.5 more pounds.
Bill, you balance my pain. Thank you.
I balance on your pain?
Yeah, you balance my pain. Thank you.
On your pain. Okay.
Royalty. You see what I have to go through? Royalty. Do you see what I have to go through?
I just repeated what you said. I balance on your pain.
Diva One, you see why I need that detox tea?
Repeatedly? Do you like the balancing on your pain?
Coco, why, Coco? Coco.
That is
Look up
going to
BY.
be. I love that. I told you I gained about 9.5 more pounds, honey,
Mm,
from all of that pain.
mm.
Mm.
Me too, Coco. You're not alone. You're not
Oh my
alone,
god.
sis.
Royalty Forever said, "There's always
Waking
cake
at
around, baby. There's
Hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
cake around."
Yes, God. Oh my gosh.
She
Yeah.
said, "Well,
It's
Come on,
too
Rainbow
funny.
Cake.
Bridget
so
still want
back
to
to
know
the
where the
balance
damn
now,
cake at.
girl." He sat on the cake, girl. Damn, bitch.
I think some cake got on the bed.
Did you? The cake sat
You
on the
think?
bed
You
too.
think?
The bed
No,
was in a different
it was
room. I don't think
it was
Bridget didn't
it
really
was
go in the room with the cake.
right. She took a nap when the cake came out. It was plenty of cake on the bed. Actually, too much
See,
cake on the bed.
I
Royalty
think he
said Mel
actually
has a
sat
cake.
on the cake.
Indeed.
Where was the damn cake?
It is a fucking cake.
The cake was sitting at the table
Coco.
while he was giving you the demonstration.
I want to ask you guys a question, kind of bring it back to a serious topic.
Thank you.
But
Go ahead,
Okay.
draw us back in.
what are
Rein us back in, girl.
what are some like alternative ways that you guys manage your like anxiety and depression?
For me,
Other than like,
definitely.
obviously
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was say like some alternative ways to manage it, like other than like therapy, like going to see a therapist or a psychiatrist.
So for me, definitely, and I know it sounds a little cliche, but I noticed exercise does help me.
Yes.
For me, like
Yes.
long walks, I love to walk. Love
Me
to
too.
walk. Like I'll walk like
Yes.
7 or 8 miles. Just as
You got
something
me on
about
that one,
like
bitch. I'll
just
walk
walking.
3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
just
like long.
walking and
Yeah,
focusing on the
I like
environment,
long too.
whatever.
So did you catch that? Long. You just have to get long. Yeah, long,
I don't like
long.
it. If it's too long, then my legs start to hurt, and my legs start buckling and
You
wobbling.
gotta stretch
So
first.
I do that. I do. I do. I stretch. I do squats, and
You know what
nothing
I would say
nothing
to that,
helps.
Coco, I would say to that, just give yourself credit for whatever you did walk, and even if it's
Yes,
not a lot, girl, you did something, and
I
that's
did it.
Yeah.
all that matters. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
And
give
Yes,
yourself
you are
A
Coco,
little,
absolutely right.
I can't
a
always
little will
walk
take
a
you a long
lot,
way.
but yeah, I can't always walk a lot. But what you also find is the more you walk and the more you take, the more endurance you
It
have.
builds
So
up. It
the
does
Yeah,
further I
because I
can go
started
each
off
time.
at 2. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
you're
Because
a
I
little
right.
bit
started
take you a
out,
long way.
yeah. So I love to do that, and even diet, like when I eat better, because I'm a comfort eater. Um,
Me
so
too.
when I'm falling into depression and stuff, the first thing I want is carbs and sweets and everything
Cakes
I
and
shouldn't be
pies
having.
and cookies and ice
Yeah,
cream.
and then I want to taste
Hmm.
everything, and I'm ordering 2 meals at the same time because like I want to taste
Yes,
a Big Mac and a thick filet o fish meal,
I want.
And
I want to
so
try that. I
yeah,
want
yeah.
to taste them both. Yes.
So when I do better, like now I'm in the stage of like just I became a pescatarian again, thanks to D saying he was going to do it as well, and so that has like started to shift
time out,
my
time out. So now y'all fucking dieting together and shit.
Yep.
Well, Bridget was doing it too, I think. Somebody else was doing it.
we're
Now
we're all about
Bridget
to
say
jump on that
she is
bandwagon.
not. Bridget say
Somebody else was doing it. Somebody. It wasn't just the two of us. And
Bridget say,
it was
We
no,
was
no."
yes, it was two of us doing it. It was just two of us doing it. Nobody
somebody
else
else
was
that they were
doing it.
considering. Who?
It was just us doing
It
it.
was
It
not a
wasn't nobody
third.
else
So
doing
it
it.
was not a
It was
third. It
just us
wasn't
two
a
doing
third.
it. We don't you know how we feel about a third party. So yes, it was just two of us doing it.
So
Right.
I started doing. I went back to being a pescatarian in October, and so that has definitely helped too. And then for me, like inspirational, motivational, I watch a ton of like YouTube videos, inspirational speeches, and all kind of stuff. That also helps me, and I try to do that every morning, like having a level of a morning devotion and gratefulness. And I try to be consistent with writing down what I'm grateful for every single day. And now I have like post-its all on my wall. So even visually on like those real rough days, I can just look at this wall in my office and see all the post-its. And even if I'm not reading them, just a visual representation of each one of those represents something I'm grateful for. Sometimes helps me emotionally, like when it feels like a rough day. Like you got a lot to be grateful for. Look at that wall, you know.
And that's
When you say visual
we're twins, Vale. We're
representation,
twins because I do the same thing. It's that positive affirmation you have to constantly keep giving yourself. I also try to exercise a little bit more. When I get stressed out, I have a stress ball that I squeeze. I also do the counting from 1 to 10. Deep breaths. People they don't know, but they don't do enough intake of breathing. You have to take time out and just in and out, and I guarantee you do that about 5 times. In through your nose, out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth, and I guarantee you'll feel like this calmness come over you because you're not getting the oxygen levels that you're supposed to be having.
breathing exercises. Like
I do a lot of those. Yes,
that's what you're saying.
I do a lot of breathing. Yes.
I've done. I haven't been consistent, but Coco is like so right with that. I've done it at times, and it definitely works. And you just reminding me that's something I need to incorporate back into my life.
Yes.
D, you can take that back down. Go ahead.
Let's all do it right now.
What happened? What happened? Coco.
You can take that down.
Coco. That's what's up, Coco.
Yeah.
Something happened? Something happened on the screen?
Let me see.
No, we can see everyone. Everyone's still there.
What did I say?
We can see and hear everyone, so the screen is just fine.
Y'all have to like excuse me because I'm like watching it on my phone and watching it on TV, so it's like a delay. It's a delay from my phone to the TV, so I was looking. Okay.
That's why I left it up there for a minute. Yeah. I got Coco. Thank you, Vale. Thank you. I couldn't do this without you. I could not do this without you.
Motivation is key.
Oh, you guys are such a cute couple.
A cute couple of what?
A couple of co-hosts on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, please help me, Ron. Please fix my life.
Yeah.
It's the motherfucking Da Vinci Code with these two.
So D, what do you do?
Rachel, you notice Vale hair is growing, right?
Yes. Come on, handsome.
Yeah. So when you knock
that from all the protein intake,
right? Yes, and when you knock out that anxiety, it comes out in your hair.
Not the protein intake.
It actually grew since last weekend. My sister braids my hair now, and she was like, "Your hair has grown since," and she braided it right before I went to Orlando.
It looks good.
So I got some. I guess I got some extra protein last weekend. I got
ate a lot of bananas. Huh?
A boost. Yeah, it was a boost of protein.
Shit, I like bananas too.
Falling out.
Bananas and strawberries. Ooh, a good piece.
Star is tickled. Girl, D-Star is tickled over there. You hear me?
Well.
Period, Pooh. I just read
that.
Well.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So D, what are some things you do to answer Rachel's question?
You said you want the D.
Ah,
You said you want the D.
I
You say
said
D to
Rachel
come?
said she had a question in regards to
Oh,
what do you do for your self-care mental health?
I told you already. I answered it already.
What's that? Something you've been doing for more than a couple months. What's your go-to?
well, that depends. How long have y'all been dating?
There is a host and co-host situation. So I would say there's a relationship of sorts, but I don't know if I would call it dating. In order to be dating, you have to go on dates, right?
Oh,
We went to the seafood place. We went to, we went
I
to
consider dates
Benihana's.
to be.
We
I
went
consider
to
dates.
Benihana's.
Excuse me. I consider dates to be one-on-one situations.
okay.
Because I don't do poly situations. So,
so you're not a sister wife?
or a brother husband.
Not a. Oh,
You enjoyed your meat.
All I had was fish. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't had no meat.
You didn't. You had more than fish. You had other meats.
I thought it was a sausage on that plate.
When you say some sausages on my plate,
Right.
I thought I saw a sausage on that plate. When you opened that plate up, I was like, ooh.
you ain't seen no sausage
damn,
on
those
my plate
sausages
since
look good.
before October. Wait, what is Royalty saying about 3 months? What is she saying?
Did you mention 3 months? Did you mention 3 months?
3 months?
How long
That's
have
how
you
long
been
y'all been
doing these
dating.
lives?
I can't.
Even thought it's a pro special protein.
Diva, you so stupid.
From what I'm hearing, you just go to Orlando.
This,
That's where all the
I'm enjoying
protein
Right.
is.
it. It's like the real YouTube Hollywood
Hey,
stuff.
Bree. Oh
Diva,
my.
it's all about the competition. That's all. I'm competitive. I agree. Royalty saying fish and sausage are delicious. I agree.
Yes.
I had to restrict my sausage intake.
I just thought I saw some sausage on that plate. That's all.
Hey, Breezy.
Not he was gloating.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, my turn. Why don't I see? Oh, I see it there. So is your non-answer D the answer that you are not doing anything that is for your mental health?
Right, that's what I was about to say. I was
Is
like, well,
this
so
why are you trying to change the subjects?
so is it just
I didn't change
motivation?
the question was answered. Yes. Motivation keeps you away from your anxiety. It helps push you through.
So what do you do on a daily basis for that?
Think about a fat cake.
Wait, think about what?
A fat cake.
Oh,
You know what they say about having too much sweet? Didn't I just talk about junk food?
Sweets are always good to look at,
Well, you know, D could,
especially to stick your finger in it.
you know, he can definitely
you
gain a
sound
few
real
more
green.
pounds.
So are you?
So he can use
You
a few
said
more
he can
pounds.
gain a few
Cake
more
wouldn't hurt
pounds.
him. Yeah, cake wouldn't
Right.
hurt him. Oh, a couple of slices of cake wouldn't hurt him.
They'll know that.
Y'all both smiling ear to ear. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
It's
Yes,
the
Oh, I'm
Joker
just reading
syndrome
comments.
or something. It's like the Joker syndrome going on. I was like, well, what?
I'm just reading comments, and I'm getting joy from seeing everyone showing
Oh,
love.
that's what you. That's
And
what you.
see,
Oh,
and
that's
that's
what you read
another
now,
thing.
huh?
That's
That's
another
what you read
thing.
now.
You know,
What?
getting
Go
joy
ahead,
out of
Coco.
things that you like to do.
Yes, like I like to travel, and honestly, me going to Orlando was like twofold. Part of it was like I literally really needed to get away and have a change of scenery because I'm used to traveling like every 3 to 4 months. I try to go somewhere, and it's a mental release. It's like a reset to be able to deal
Hmm.
with life and work and everything else. And the
That's a
fact that COVID has jacked that up for all of us. I like literally was debating like, is this being responsible? But I was like, for my mental health, I needed to get away, and
hmm
I'm
So,
glad that I did.
so
um
Chicago is
sometimes.
2 hours from Michigan, right?
5.
5 hours.
Hmm. From Detroit, yes.
Can I say something? And Vale, you made me think of this when you said you like to go and travel and get away, to kind of change your environment. So I would say just to the people that are watching, if you can do that, great. If you can't, we got to stay indoors right now because of the quarantine. But if you want to change your environment while still having to be at home,
Hmm.
at least dedicate like one room in your house where you can have a clean, organized environment where you can go to, because there's moments where you need that escape. You need to feel
Hmm.
like just a little bit more clutter free, less stress. It's just everything's kind of So if you can't pick like a room or office, but just make sure it's clean. And if you ever feel like you're having anxiety or whatever, you can go there to that place, kind of just chill and you calm down. That's an option.
And that's
Oh,
So,
great.
and
That's great
not to
advice.
piggy.
Go ahead, Coco.
No, but I was about to say, not to piggyback off what Rachel was saying, but that's another thing I like to do as well is clean.
Hmm. Hmm.
When yes, so that ties right in. Yeah, I like that.
so let
Yeah,
me know
go
what
ahead.
room you set aside for that, Bill. So when I come there, I can get
Your
my
Zen going.
mental, yes, get my mental together.
Hmm. Yeah, what Rachel was saying, like I had the same issue with, so my office at my house is like my man cave, and so that's where I watch TV. That's usually where I would eat and hang out and all of that, and that was fine when things were regular because I was only there after work and off time. But once my office had to become my workspace for work, 8, 9 hours a day and then hanging out in there and watching TV, I found like all of a sudden that room wasn't a relief for me. It felt real heavy and stressful because like all the work stuff to me was still connected with that space. So then I started using other parts of the house. So all of a sudden I was in the living room watching TV and, versus just always being in my office. So especially for those who are working like remotely, it's important to have a space set aside in your home for where you work, like when you're doing
Hmm.
your day job, and then
Hmm.
try to remove yourself from that whatever area of the house that is, whether it's the kitchen table or whatever. Once work is over, try to leave that, like remove yourself from that space,
Hmm.
because otherwise you find yourself carrying that work, like mixing the two together is not good for your mental health long term for sure. And that was a realization I had to come to once I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, I just feel so heavy. It's too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Diva,
would
thank
that
you
be
for
or
that fun
Perfect.
fact, that fun
Wait,
food
what
fact.
happened?
Thank you.
so does that mean Bell is organic cinnamon?
Yeah,
Mm.
Why am I
you
being
know
compared to cinnamon? I'm confused.
he's he lowers your blood sugar.
Oh, I get it. I'm slow.
Indeed.
Ah.
Oh, well, come on, Val. Word.
Good old cinnamon.
I did not know that.
Good old cinnamon.
But also, I know
Hello.
celery juice is really good for you, baby. Yes.
I want to try that. I keep hearing Craig talking about that, but I don't like celery like that. I like it in my potato salad and
You like
tuna
celery in
salad.
your potato salad?
We getting a close up of all this
Vel is not
cinnamon.
bringing. Vel is not
Oh,
bringing the potato salad to the function.
You said I'm not
Just so
raisins.
y'all know,
I didn't say raisins, Coco.
raisins and celery, those are no.
I won't say I always put it in there, but I have put it like a little crunch, just a little bit. Do you put it in your dressing?
Yes, I do put it in my dressing.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah, I
that
put
I
it in my
do.
dressing. I don't know. I've just like I even now put green apple diced very finely, green apples in my tuna, and I don't know where I've had it or heard it at some point, but it's good. It like adds a little bit of a crunch and a little sweetness to your
I
to
do
your
green
tuna.
apples in my salad. That is, yeah.
Yeah. So I like to experiment, right, D?
Okay. Yep.
Experimentation is really good. Like even when something is, something you're used to doing, just like changing it up a little bit, add a different taste or flavor to it. A little surprise.
Oh, okay. Come on, flavor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's
Yes,
just me,
Val.
but there's been a lot of. I feel like there's been a lot of sexual innuendos just flying right by.
What happened, Rachel?
I'm sorry.
What happened? What I missed?
I said I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like there's been a lot of like sexual innuendos going by.
Well,
I think
it's a
it's
lot
just
of.
you, Rachel. I think it's just you.
I feel like it's a lot of sexual tension. Like it's so thick, you could cut it with a knife.
Oh, oh, Coco, it
Yes,
is
I feel
thick.
that shit.
It's definitely thick. It's definitely thick.
So you
I
have to have
digress.
a sharp sword.
I digress. Oh my gosh.
Not a sharp sword. Come on, Excalibur. Is that what it's given?
A
Excalibur?
guillotine.
Okay. Oh, Coco. You're too much.
Diva is so stupid.
Right, I saw that.
But you right,
I just
Diva.
like to try different things.
You right, Diva.
There.
Mm-hmm.
Pull on your braid in the front. Pull on one of your braids.
Yeah, like I can't pull them no more, huh?
No.
Yeah, I did beats this time.
I was just okay. Perfect.
The limb?
It's good. Yep.
What are you thinking about with the beads?
Huh?
What do you think about with the beads?
Mm,
They not that big. They could get lost. You don't want
right.
Well, meditation beads are really good to use as well.
How big are they?
Really? What are those?
They're palm size.
Are they on a string?
No, they're not on a string, but they are in your.
How do you make sure they don't get
your
lost?
hand.
How do you make sure you don't lose them?
You have to maneuver them with your fingers in the palm.
So you push the palm up and push it in?
Yes, and you have to constantly wiggle your fingers.
Not talking about scrotum.
No,
oh, I'm saying beads because I'm used to seeing them on a
meditation
string.
balls.
So
yes, you talking about some balls, bitch. I know.
No, they're real meditation balls.
So you meditate on them once you push them in. But how do you pull them out?
I can't.
How do you pull them out, Coco, without a string?
Well, you don't have to insert them there in the palm of your hand.
Well, Val, you know how to push it out. That won't be a problem.
I don't know. I don't have
Find out you the
experience with those sort of things. I don't have experience with those sort of things.
All right, I help you with that.
Oh,
I don't think I'm interested in those sort of things. I don't want them getting lost nowhere.
Oh, trust me, I'll find it.
Now, I don't mind meditating on things. So continue to Coco. So you said you put your palm, you place it on your palm, and you
It's three
meditate on it.
balls.
meditate
It's
on
three
this.
balls
Now.
Right.
Meditate on this.
that you.
His balls in your hand.
It helps relieve
Okay.
stress.
So you put the balls in
Indeed.
your hand and you meditate on the balls.
Yes.
I've
Yes.
meditated on
Yeah,
balls before. I don't know if I've heard this way, but go ahead. I'm sorry, because
they
you
do.
got me thinking of ways I've meditated on balls.
Like when I'm driving,
They do
I
help
wrote.
relieve stress.
Yes, I
Yes.
wrote. I roll the balls when I'm driving and I'm stressed, and it helps with the anxiety.
Especially in like heavy traffic.
Anxiety.
So
Right.
yeah, because
Yes.
some people get that
Somebody
road
pull
rage.
up in front of
So
me.
you have to
Yeah.
keep them everywhere.
Y'all talking
So I
about
just
roadhead and shit.
If
I
you
start rolling on the
like,
balls. I start rolling on the balls, and
I
it
know you
helps.
fucking lying. These girls is making this shit up. Okay.
Royalty says that balls help relieve stress. I
they
agree.
They
do.
do. They do. They help
I have
relieve stress.
meditation balls and I have a stress ball.
Yes.
Balls
That's
can
why.
cause stress too. You got to be careful
That's
with
why I
the kind
keep
of balls
beads.
that you
Right.
use.
I rotate the balls. I rotate the
Mm-hmm.
balls. That helps relieve
Mm-hmm.
the stress when I'm in traffic.
It, mm-hmm.
How long do
But
you do that?
it has to
Rachel,
be thick traffic. It has to be thick traffic to where
yes.
that rage comes out and you
Heavy,
need to
heavy.
use the balls.
I cannot with
That bumper
y'all.
to bumper
I
traffic?
can't.
Bumper to bumper.
Yes.
Bumper to bumper.
Exactly.
Bumper to bumper.
Bumper to bumper.
Well, Rachel.
Some of these girls is making up shit now.
Making this shit up, man. At this,
I can't.
uh, when D starts saying like when I drive, I already fell out because I was started thinking about like roadhead and shit.
What?
That's a stress release too. That's a stress releaser too.
Mm-mm.
That's like living on the wild
I
side.
have
That
Yeah,
a
my
sounds
life
like
ain't
no.
worth it.
that might sound like you're
You,
suffering with a mental illness
how
because
you mean
that's
your life is worth it? You're not going anywhere. You're stuck in traffic.
oh well
I
you
don't
are you mean
trust it.
that
I
thick
ain't putting my
traffic.
The
head below
car
no
is
steering
in
wheel.
park
No,
because you're not moving.
no, but you're in
Okay, so
traffic. You
y'all
know,
mean to tell me that
That's called
none of
tinted
you guys
windows.
have had your balls fondled by somebody while in traffic?
In thick traffic. Bumper to bumper. Breathe. Right. That's what I was saying
I
too, girl.
I can't.
My
Oh my
stars
gosh.
today.
Oh my gosh.
Bree said, now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh my gosh. I
Um,
can't.
But Rachel, what are some ways? I don't think you ever gave us some ways that you like to deal with your anxiety, or have you?
so some ways
Mm.
I will go for like a 15-minute walk, or sometimes, not all the time, but and then also
Not.
like massage. I like to get a massage. Ooh,
mm-hmm.
see, it's always got to go sexual.
That don't have to be sexual. I
But
go
when
get
I'm,
massages too, though. I love that. And facials. I love
I
it.
just,
Love having my face done.
Oh, I love a good facial.
Me too.
Oh,
I can't take you bitches nowhere.
I swear we
trying
were
to
talking
think of
about
something.
relaxing things.
I was like, let me think of something that these bitches can't turn around and make it sexual.
Okay.
I mean, a
Oh
good
my God.
deep tissue facial, like when they rub it in and let it
Do you
sit.
like a mud mask
I ain't gonna say
or
I
do
like
you,
mud, but I like it creamy. Mud can be a little,
so you do the milk bath?
oh yeah.
Okay,
The creamier and the milkier, the better.
gotcha.
Continue, Rachel.
That's too funny.
So,
Anything else you
the
like besides
massage, like,
facials?
whew, I like.
And massages?
Well, I like. I've tried it before, and I've actually found it very calming. It's called Tai Chi.
Ooh,
That way they
always
walk
wanted
on
to
you?
try that. No,
It's like,
it's the stuff they do in the parks when the people be in the parks doing that karate looking stuff.
Oh yes, uh-huh.
That I've always wanted to try that.
Hmm.
bitch, I feel
See?
like a motherfucking Avatar shit. I'm airbending this shit.
Right,
Bitch.
exactly. You feel like the airbender.
Yeah. Yes, I'm an airbender, bitch. I'm like,
I want to get into yoga. That's been on my list.
Oh, I heard that yoga is also good.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is there anything else, Rachel, besides the deep? Did you say deep tissue massages? Like deep?
no, you whore. I didn't say nothing deep about no.
I'm sorry.
I apologize. You're not a whore. You just very
Talk about whore.
horny. You're horny.
Well, you have to
I might
call
be
a
a little
spade a
bit.
spade.
I can't.
So I could
Not
play
a
spades with
will.
you, Rachel. See, I
You
could
know
I
what?
could definitely play spades with you.
Yes, we need to. Aromatherapy, music, and pets.
Oh,
Those are my alternatives.
aromatherapy.
I love music. I love pets. My doggy, he really soothes me, really soothes my anxiety. And um, aromatherapy, like I have a diffuser. You put like some scent
Hmm.
in it, and little aromatherapy.
That's why a lot of people have those service animals. Yeah.
Hmm. But see, I don't need an animal, so I'm gonna revisit this.
Excuse you?
They do.
Yes, balls help relieve stress.
So I don't
Not
need
my
a
Mm.
balls
service animal.
personally, but
I need me a service dog. I sure
Oh
do.
my, I can't.
I could picture Coco having like one of those massive, tall, big ass dogs.
A Great Dane. Yes, that's what I want.
Hmm.
Yes, yes.
My God. Any more
Well, what
questions?
a any question. Oh,
Namaste.
I have a question for
Hmm.
everybody. You guys can stop me anytime. I can talk forever, but um, what are some things that like what are some like do's and don'ts from your own experience? Like what people say like don't say this, instead say this. Like I've had people say, "Oh, you need to read the Bible more," and I've just been like, "Bitch, fuck you." And and I just feel like don't say that shit to me. Like I need to read the fucking Bible more, bitch. No, maybe you could have said like I have some really cool Bible passages I'd love to share with you. I don't know, bitch.
No, I'm
Right.
with you. I'm with you, Rachel, because I've had that happen, and I'm like, why are you assuming that based on what I'm going through that I'm not doing that, or you just need to pray more? Like, how do you know I'm not doing that? Like, you're making assumptions. So I think one of the don'ts is don't make fucking assumptions about what I am or am not doing.
And for me, that's a trigger.
Mm-hmm.
That's another
It
do
What
and
is.
the
don't.
assumptions?
That's another I would say do and don't is when what you just said. You just need to pray more. Bitch, fuck you.
And Rachel, you are absolutely right. Sometimes that's what you have to tell people because I don't
Hmm.
know if you saw my story on my Instagram, honey. I had a good girlfriend just told me that the color that I use doesn't match up. And I said, fuck you, bitch. And kept it moving.
Okay.
Veil,
Hmm.
nothing.
Wait, do you start feel like you were gonna say something? I kind of interrupted you.
You didn't. No, I was just sitting here admiring the evolution of Veil.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay.
Val, your thoughts?
Well, damn. It's the
Thank.
evolution of Veil, so I guess this must be the demise of Coco. I'm going to change my name. Damn.
You gonna change your name to what?
Demise of Coco.
The the creation. What about you, Coco
Coco.
or Val? Like, is it like when it comes to
I
like
think what I
mental
said,
health
like,
or like any
don't make assumptions. I think for me is like watch what you say
okay.
because you know, yeah. I think that's what gets to me more
What
than
ha- what
anything.
what has somebody said to you in the past? Like, what has somebody said to you that like you felt was like, oh, bitch, no, don't come at me like that. Like, any like, has anybody said anything like in particular though about assuming anything?
Yes, but I can't think of anything in the
You don't have
moment.
to share.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I've had people tell me like when I'm going through like um I'm here, like you need to just come out and you like hang out or talk more. And I'm like, bitch, those are all my triggers. I don't want to talk more to anybody. I don't want to be on the phone gossiping because that stresses me out when I'm going through this. And I definitely don't want to be in a crowd of people because then I got to be on, which then makes me crazy because I'm not being myself. Because if I'm being myself, people thinking I'm being a bitch. But no, bitch, I'm depressed. you know.
Rachel,
So yeah, those
Rachel,
people. I mean,
and his trigger is thick.
What's up, Trey?
you said my triggers.
Good evening.
You said my triggers. What? What is my trigger?
What is your trigger?
Yes.
You have
What
a
is
you
it?
have a you have a thick trigger, right?
I've been told yes, but what are you saying?
I said it. You have a thick trigger.
My trigger is my thick
I've
trigger.
been told.
your your trigger is thick.
Touche.
It is, but that's not what you said. I'm trying to figure out what you said.
That's
These
what
are
I
facts.
said.
You've told no lies, but I'm trying to
Right.
realize.
Trust me, I know. I know basketball shorts.
Did I have on basketball? Oh, I did have on basketball shorts that morning.
You sure did.
Okay.
You didn't tell me that you were,
Basketball shorts and sweatpants are my triggers as well.
but they were black. So how did you see? Because they weren't even. Oh, did I have my gray ones on? I thought I had my black ones on.
You
I
have
had
a
my black
question on
ones on,
bird
right?
Whatever
watcher.
you had on.
It don't matter what color you had on. A
It's
good
the
bird
black kind of
watcher is a good
out.
bird watcher.
You didn't say
Yeah,
nothing.
bird watchers don't see in color. They see in depth and perception.
Dimensions, honey.
Okay.
They see in dimensions.
right.
Yeah.
3D.
Yeah, 3D. 3D.
It's like
3D.
HD all of a sudden.
Right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
This has been an excellent show.
It's been an excellent show.
This has been an
Obviously, I
got
was
a
sitting on the
lot.
show when I
We
didn't
got a
know I
lot of
was. I was
knowledge.
wondering.
No, we did really. This was really good.
We
It
did.
was like they
Yeah.
got a lot of knowledge. You know, we
Hmm.
touched
Yeah.
the food.
Found out that D loves poppers.
I do not love poppers. Never said that.
Likes,
Okay. See. Here we
enjoys,
go, y'all. Here we
Tried.
We
go.
found out he fucks
right.
with poppers.
Here he go.
It's
Here he
tried.
go.
The word is tried.
D has been trying me. I agree.
Warning: the viewers expressed
It's a little
and
late for this.
opinions expressed on this program is just that. Views and opinions. Don't take any of it serious, but it will warn you. Viewer discretion is advised.
That part.
Mm.
Oh, the vocal Vanna White.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
get that,
call me
sis.
Shaniqua. I'm Shaniqua Brown.
You could do my commercial
God.
any day.
My God.
What about like do's and don'ts for family members? Because go ahead.
That's why I asked that question. That's why I posed that question when I was in the chat.
Oh, you
Because
What?
I must have been struggling.
it's different. It's like for family members, like how do you really deal with that? Like I'm going through that right now.
Wait, am I understanding it correctly? Like, how should family handle when you're going through the depression and in that season?
Yeah,
How
because
they,
family
you
is
know what?
different than
Yeah,
regular people.
I think people have to be careful with being mindful of not adding extra weight or stress on a person who's in that season. I have a friend who's been going through some stuff financially, lost a really, really good job that they've had for, 25 years. And they have now gone from being the successful breadwinner in the family to the one who doesn't even know if they're going to be able to keep their home. And some of the stories that I've heard, I'm like, your family is not being mindful of all of the stress that you've been going through and how your life has been flipped upside down. And they're adding like regular petty stress on top of that, which I think people just have to be careful. And I've had that happen to me as well. I'm like, could you kind of keep this off of me, like in this season? So I think that's part of it too. Like,
Well,
don't
for
add
me,
additional weight.
well, for me personally, I had to get the grass cutters and I had to cut family members loose. I have to deal with some of those family members from a distance
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because some family members are triggers
mm-hmm.
as well. They work up that anxiety and they make the depression state worse than what it is. So yeah.
I had to do the same thing.
So I just deal with majority of my relatives. I love them from afar.
Yeah, I keep my circle small. Period. Like family and friends. Like I got a big family, but
Mm-hmm.
they're only like I can count on my hand how many I interact with outside of family gatherings and stuff. And it's by design. It's by design.
Yeah.
It's for my sanity.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm just checking to see what you still there.
I'm still yes.
I need a restroom break.
You need a restroom break?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna mute so that I don't have other parts, desserts being shown on camera.
Well,
So,
that's
yeah.
what I was just at.
What happened?
But I had a family member who also had like a depression. He was like very successful, and then he just kind of lost it all and was doing drugs and got caught up in shit. And so he was going through some shit, but he was kind of not really dealing with his shit, his not his shit, his mental health, and he began to behave really negatively. And I understand he's family, but like you said, Disa, you have to have those boundaries. Sometimes with your family, you have to cut some of them off. And like he literally got in a fight with his sister, and like physical fight one day. And at that point, it was just no more an excuse. And this is kind of a different perspective of the whole do's and don'ts for family. But I literally had to just, like, he wasn't apologizing. He didn't see he didn't understand what he did was wrong, and I had to just cut him off. And like, I'll see him at family gatherings and I'll say hi. That's it. I don't really talk. But it's just I had to kind of like do that. I mean, people did that to me too, like in the past. Like I had negative behavior, and they had to basically say, "Okay, Rach, we need to like space from you, bitch." Like, like okay. But that was when I was young and like wild, and I was partying too much. But yeah, it was just like family members. But then me having the PTSD and the major depression, there was family members that triggered me, and they didn't understand, or they didn't want to understand my symptoms and how to behave around me. So I just kind of just created those healthy boundaries, and I didn't get too close to them anymore, and I didn't have that deep of
nothing wrong with healthy boundaries. Nothing at all.
Well, what I've done now, as I got older, and because I'm in a different phase of my life, because when I went through my divorce, it's like my family totally, it's like everybody just completely just they just like I just erased from the earth. Nobody called and checked on me and say, "Oh, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, whatever. How you doing? Is you okay? Well, here's some advice, or we here for you." I didn't get any of that. I was left alone. So what I did now with my older siblings, and this is even including my twin brother, you all don't have that accessibility to me anymore. The only way you'll be accessible to me, you have to go through your kids. So you have to go through your nieces and nephews if you get a message to get to me. My nieces and nephews have my phone numbers. They don't.
Right. Yeah. I'm the same way. I just created those the healthy boundaries, because at the end of the day, I'm thinking of my mental health first. And if they can't respect that, like I need certain boundaries or whatever, then yeah, I definitely need to keep you at a more safer distance, because I'm not. Obviously, it's case by case, but when it's like people are not respecting maybe your space, or like we can't control people. At the end of the day, we can't control people. We can only control ourselves. I understand that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk away from the situation. I'm going to
control. Yeah.
But what I've learned, we all can create. You create your own space. So that's why when you hear people saying, "Oh, well, I deal with, well, I heard this person is racist, and this person is that, and this person is this. Oh, this person is homophobic, this person is that." I don't know nothing about it, because I don't put that in my space. I put those things that I want around me in my space. So if you're not in that space, I'm not concerned about what's going on across town. That's none of my business. I hear it. I sympathize for it, but I can't relate to it. I remember this story. It was this white guy. He was like 58, and one of his best workers was a black guy. He was one of his lead construction workers. Both of them didn't know too much about racism, because that's not how they was brought up, and that's not what they put around them. So, and you don't hear that kind of story too often.
Mm.
But we all have choices of what we put around and what we allow in our spaces. If you want to live a healthy life, you have to put healthy things around you.
Right now at my job, because I work at the church, and I'm just like at the point where I'm getting to the point where I'm deciding if this is conducive to my mental health, and if it's not, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite there yet, but I'm almost getting to the point where I have to have that conversation with myself and do like what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bill,
Yes.
you have cousins?
Do I have cousins?
Mm-hmm.
I have a ton of cousins. Yes.
Okay, just checking. I had to ask because you're the only child.
Well, yeah, but I have a ton of cousins. I'm not really. I mean, I am, but I have adopted siblings who've been around since I was 19 years old. So,
Mm-hmm.
and although I only look like I'm 21, it's been a while. That's 20 years ago. Mhm.
Coco,
Yes.
I'm just checking on you. I gotta keep an eye on you.
Yes. I'm just here,
Come on, Coco.
listening to Bell tell his dream story.
Yeah, I'm just going off what Diva said.
Oh, okay.
Like I didn't make this up.
Well, he has cataracts in one eye.
Rachel, you didn't ask what to do about haters.
About who?
Haters.
Sometimes you just have to brush them off.
What I do about haters?
Coco just reminded me that question wasn't asked.
What do I do about haters?
Uh-huh.
I just let them be hating.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm just let Coco hate then.
Yeah, just let her hate. Just let her hate.
But this goes back. This goes back to what we said last weekend. You got it with the positive. You got to have a negative. That's what makes the car run.
We
I'm
can't
just
control.
saying.
We can't control people. We can only control ourselves. So you know
Right.
what? If you could control, that whole stay on the stream any longer, then maybe there's. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of, just as an example, like pretend. How do you guys handle or react to haters? Obviously you guys are on YouTube. You got people in comments. You're not always going to get positive comments. How do you handle haters? Like how do you? Because like we just said earlier, you can't control people. You only control yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you do that? How do you navigate that?
So for me, the answer, like how I used to, up until literally like sometime last month, is I would, if you gave hate, I gave it back to you. Like I was like, you can't come in my comment section and then say reckless shit and make me feel some kind of way and not have me do the same to you, because I want you to see how it feels. So I would literally, and I wouldn't go back and forth, but I'm gonna sting you real quick and then send you on your way. But I realized that energy was not good for my brand and what I'm trying to do. So it took a while, and I was watching a lot of other content creators and watching videos on how people handle that. And one content creator, Terrell, on the Terrell Show, he was talking about how he ignores them completely. And for one, if you ignore them, they for one, you don't get as many, because most of them are doing it because they want some level of attention.
Right.
But he was like, for those people who go back and forth with people, he was like, I'm wondering, how do you have that much time? Because he's like, I'm so busy on my grind and doing my work that I don't have time for that. And so I was like, that's true. Like, I'm busy as hell. Why am I worried about it? So he was like, if you are the type of person that is bothered by it and you can't just flat out ignore it, either remove their comment or block them. And so I've now gotten to that point where that's all that I do. Like I either ignore it completely or I remove it if it's something that, I was like, yeah, I don't want this there. And then if it's too much, because you do have people who come back and then you realize anything they ever say is like negative, then I'll block them or hide their comments from ever going on the page. And that's it. Now keep it moving.
I always say every comment doesn't require a response.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to love your haters, because if you don't have any haters, then you're doing something wrong.
I'm still working on that, because I still can be easily triggered. So if I'm at the point where I'm realizing, okay, there's no way I can I'm not gonna correct anybody, whatever. So if somebody hates on me or does something, I feel like just as there's some disrespect attached to it. I'll ignore it at first, and then if I feel like it keeps coming, then maybe I'll address it. And if I do, that's where I kind of struggle, because then I go back to where I start, the past, where kind of how you said, Vel, is just oh, you want to hurt me, so I want to hurt you back, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told this one over here. What's happened to the person you hating on as a kid? You just wasted time and energy on a kid.
I don't care. They need to learn life lessons.
But
you gotta raise up a child.
You cannot argue with a keyboard thug.
I don't argue with any of them.
You're gonna waste time.
Right.
No, I don't do any of that anymore. But here's the piece, because I get people who say that. But when you have hundreds of people, like I've had, some of my videos have 1,200 comments, and you trying to engage, because that's a part of the growth. You're trying to engage the people who are being respectful, even if they disagree, that's fine. And then in order to get to these people who you legitimately are trying to cultivate, you got people who are just being reckless. As a human being, that is not easy to just ignore. If it's one person, that's whatever. But if you're going through and every 5 or 10 comments, you got some reckless-ish being said to you, directed, that's not easy to say, oh, okay, just ignore that. So it made me want to stay out of my comment section. And that was when I was like, okay, I got to do something, because this is going to affect my brand if I'm ignoring comments completely, trying to stay away from people who really are hurt people who are just trying to hurt other people. They got issues. So
Rachel, if they're not coming for your character or your integrity, I always say don't entertain it. It's not worth your time. If they're coming for your character and your integrity, then yes, say something.
This is what I'm talking about.
Other than that,
so if it's just if it was comments about the content, oh, this is boring, that was whatever. But it was literally people attacking me as a person. Those were the ones that were stinging, that were I can't, those were the ones I was responsible.
They're on your channel. You have that block.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I do.
And that's what I use. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's exactly what I do. That's what I'm saying. I had to get, and I was doing that then, but I was also giving energy to them. Some of them, not all of them, but some of them. So now I give zero energy. I don't say anything. I'm either gonna ignore, remove, or block. Those are the three options. But you don't even get a moment of my acknowledgement, which is what you really wanted. You don't get that at all. You won't know that
Rachel and Coco. What? Rachel and Coco, as me and Vel had this conversation, there are certain things, as much as Vel be trying to pull me out, there are certain things I can and cannot say on YouTube, because one, I'm a brand and I represent a brand. Me and Vel have done, in future we may be doing videos together. We all are under Maddie, under Chi-Chi, under Craig, under the whole team, even with Oliver. So there are certain things we can't do, especially if we're content creators, that we can't say and do, because we're not just a representation of ourselves, but we're a reflection of them.
As well.
So you always have to be mindful when it comes to social media, how you respond, and that's why I say every response doesn't require a reply. It doesn't. Yeah. You can sit here and type all you want. That's gonna do nothing for me because I'm gonna hit that block button. Then what? Then you're gonna be upset because you can't get on my channel.
Well, they create another user and then come back. Like I'm fully aware of like certain content creators, and I've mentioned this before, literally have a following of haters. And there's a group of people who just every video they post, they subscribe and they click that notification bell so that when you post, they can come and say something hateful and all. And I get that, and that's fine. And when I get to a certain point, even now, I don't read all my comments. I don't even have the time now. So that's fine. That is what it is. But when I'm trying to engage, I'm also not trying to, I'm human. I'm not trying to go through all that, you know. I don't have to subject myself to that. It's just like we just talked about family members. We're not going to put ourselves in those circles from those toxic friends and family members. Well, hell, my comment section has some toxic people in it.
Right.
So I got to do something about that.
So I
Right, Viva. Right, Viva. Right. That part.
Come on, videos. What's the rating? Is it R or X?
Well, Rotten Tomatoes told me it was bad.
Rated R, rated X, or triple X.
You gonna keep this PG-13? That's what we gonna do. Did you see Diva's comment there? Oh, he was talking to somebody. Yes.
You say what?
You read Diva's comment?
About the appreciation of estheticians? Yes, I saw that one.
No, we're not talking about that.
Oh, hell no. We ain't about to cause no accidents.
What's on the screen? That one.
She's doing a couple of videos this week. Are you releasing them this week?
No, that is not what. No,
because you guys said you were doing a couple videos in the future.
A couple videos.
I did not say such. I did not say such a thing.
You didn't deny either. You didn't deny either.
No, I just let you talk. Why would I deny what you're saying?
No, I've been stopped talking. You never said. You never denied.
It wasn't a question posed to me when you said it was a statement you made. So why would I comment on a statement that you made? It wasn't a question to me.
Well, I would like to know, are you making some videos in the future with D-Star Bell? Are y'all doing some videos in the future?
Yes, because we have technically been doing videos every week.
Really? And what kind of videos are these?
They're called YouTube Lives. We're doing one now. You're involved in it.
Oh, y'all finna get shut down.
Do we have one coming to the evolution of it?
I guess at some point, maybe.
Coco.
I'm lost.
Diva wanted.
I'm lost too. Okay.
You know, I can help you get found.
I'm waiting.
I could too at this point.
I could lease right now. I hate you so much right now.
Okay, so they shooting some porno videos in the future. Stay tuned for that. Y'all will be on the lookout. You got a BBC
OnlyFans.
But D is the one that's been teasing the audience about him having an OnlyFans. I've never stated such a thing.
Just know y'all will recognize the cake.
Yes, we've seen your cakes in that recipe video, the seafood salad.
Come on, D-Star.
So, but I love me some seafood salad. Oh, please, let's start.
This cake is good. I think I'm gonna stamp EOV on it. What happened?
I was lost at what you're stamping EOD.
A big old bottom.
Those who are lost can be found.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just come to the river, girl. Come to the river.
Do you drink from the river? Should you swallow what you drink from the river? Is it safe to swallow? When you drink from the river, is it safe to swallow, D?
I don't drink from rivers. I drink from streams.
Ooh.
Well, honey,
Do you
I
swallow from those streams?
Yes,
the
I
rivers
do.
and the I used to.
And it's refreshing going down.
Okay.
What was we talking about again? What's the topic of the show?
I can never keep track.
I keep losing my train of thought and shit.
Oh my gosh. At this time where we at right now, everybody probably cooking, I'm just giving them entertainment, That's what me and Val do,
I know I'm ready to eat. They cooking, I'm ready to eat.
Yes. I'm making some potato salad without celery.
Not you ready to eat.
You said without celery.
Potato salad without raisins.
Good.
And I use real mayonnaise, not Miracle Whip.
Right.
Best foods.
So that Duke and
I want to see
yeah.
Coco.
Eva has a comment.
Well, my potatoes and eggs are just boiling right now.
Oh, okay.
Right, Diva. I agree. And it does, indeed.
Well, D wasn't trying to relieve his depression last weekend.
Yes,
Obviously.
I would, but I had
He wasn't trying to relieve his depression.
Eva, you should have told him that last weekend.
No, you never do that on the first date.
You had a first date?
Sex helps relieve depression.
You had a first date last weekend? Where you
does.
go? Where you going?
Stress. It is a stress.
I had a date with that king size bed.
Oh, that's what you do on your dates? Your first dates? You go straight to the bed?
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with
Come on,
the bed. I just need to make sure the bed is soft.
Okay.
And if it's something I can handle. And based on what I saw, I can.
Okay.
Bitch, I done fell over.
In my bedroom.
D-Star sound like he could take a beating, girl.
Give or take?
Both.
Yeah, sound like both to me too. Girl, you versatile.
No, Eva.
Come on.
If you're making a sandwich, it's okay because that's what it's.
Rachel.
I do love Miracle Whip on my sandwich.
What they say in the street? You know what they say in the street? The verse life is the best life.
Okay. It's been a minute, bitch, but
it's like riding a bike.
It sounds
Oh my god.
Bitch, you ain't never lied, bitch.
Yeah.
I heard versatile is good for your mental health.
It is.
I could see that being in control and in a power position, and then being able to kind of submit and release.
You like power?
Allowed to be taken.
Ooh.
You like Powerville?
I love power. I live in power.
Oh,
Excuse me.
are you like having the power, or are you good with giving up a little power?
It's exactly that. I like having the power, and I like giving up, keyword, a little bit of power.
All right, Royalty. Yeah, I'm about to bring this to a close shortly. So yes, have a good evening, Royalty. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Yes,
See you
baby.
later, Royalty.
See you later.
Cause I'm ready to eat.
Oh, you are?
Oh,
I'm
If you ready to
famished.
eat, if you ready to eat, if you ready to eat, it's wet enough.
My fish tacos? Are they
Ooh,
sloppy? They gonna
he
fall
said
apart?
it ain't nothing but a word.
It's moist.
child. Ain't nothing worse than some sloppy fish.
Some who?
Ugh,
Some what?
some
Ain't no like a
sloppy,
what?
salty fish.
Right.
Okay, come on, just bring the dick. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I don't like it falling apart before I can get it in my mouth though.
Rachel, let the people know where they can find you.
Hey y'all, you can find me on anywhere, I guess, at Rachel Lewinsky. Instagram Rachel_Lewinsky.
All right, Rachel, thank you for stopping by. Love you.
Thank you guys. Love you
Bye,
guys.
Rachel.
Bye. Talk to you soon.
All right. Coco, hold on. Coco, let
Hey
them know where they can
y'all, thank
find
you
you.
so much for having me. You guys can find me at Coco Delicious on all social media platforms because you guys know I'm Coco D and I always got the tea on what's hot, what's not, and everything in between the sheets, y'all. So y'all stay tuned in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Love you guys.
Thank you, Coco. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, boo.
My co-host,
Yes, sir.
let the people know
Uh,
where they can find you.
I know Coco had a whole outro, but you can just follow me on Twitter, Instagram at I am Velby.
All
That's it.
right, hang tight. Thank y'all for coming out and spending this time with me. Diva One, Royalty, Breezy Bree. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody. My turn. Go go. I think that was about it for today. All right, y'all. And I will definitely see y'all in 2 weeks. I'm taking 2 weeks off. I will be on in the comment sections, but I won't be going live for about 2 weeks. All right. All right. Love each and every one of y'all. Thank you, Coco, Rachel, and my co-host Bill for joining me on this live. All right. Remember to love, live, laugh, and it's just nice to be nice. All right. Enjoy your Sunday. Love y'all.